No, not Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon to you guys. I'm here with ATS, and like normal, I don't own the rights to the podcast, but I'm gonna make a cup of coffee, have my smoke. I'm down the road from the spot from the last time we stopped, so I hope you guys enjoy, and please have fun.
Come.
That was awesome.
I asked him if he had allergies. He's like,
Got allergies? Lead?
I have a massive pee hole.
I'm convinced that there are people that intrinsically are dying to be arrested for no reason.
Oh, nobody knows this secret?
Okay, never mind.
Nobody knows that secret?
Hey, are you upset you missed out on the live show tour?
Well, don't be, because we still have one show left to do.
Brandon, where is that show at?
Beautiful Las Vegas.
During what week?
During the week of SHOT Show. So this will be our last show of the tour on January 20th at the Venetian Theater, and this one will be a double feature with the Gundies. So if you buy your ticket, it gets you access to both the Gundies and the Unsubscribed live show. 2 tickets for the price of 1.
So come hang out, have a blast, and then have a little SHOT Show experience too, right, Brandon?
In fact, I would say the best part of SHOT Show.
The drinking and hanging out.
Literally, the only part we care for anymore.
Coffee,
So if you want to get the chance to hang out with some of your favorite people in the gun sphere and also just have a fucking good time and see one of our live shows, go check out the tickets. They're available down in the description.
Oh, I'm so used to the other kitchen.
We got it. You ready?
So embarrassing.
Mango. Everyone knows how this works.
Tangerine.
Do a new one. 3, 2, 1.
I was a second behind.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's not bad. Still not Cody. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Unsubscribed Podcast. I'm joined here today by Mr. Eli Double Tap, our old friend, Mr. Leon Lush, and our new friend, Mr. Anthony, a.k.a. EMT Badge 502.
And yes, is that
Remember that.
EMG badge 502 from Facebook and TikTok, just for the
By
reference,
the time
folks.
I get to EMTBAD, it's like it autofills, okay? I'm sorry. I'll allow it.
You know what's a good username? Let me add some a lot of numbers in there.
It's classic like Anon Twitter where it's like user 57867455632.
Dude, I think I'm getting shadow banned. No one's looking me out. Yeah, no one can
on every
find
other
you.
platform, it's just Badge 502. But somebody on Instagram decided they needed that. So that's just the luck I drew. You know, 502 is my actual badge number. I couldn't get away from it.
Has anybody ever asked for your badge number like they asked for cops?
Quite literally, yeah.
Have they?
100%.
I want to hear the story.
We go to houses obviously all the time, and every so often, it doesn't matter how nice you are, how courteous you are to people. You know, sometimes you get that person who just doesn't love you, and you just step back and let the other EMTs handle it, and they're like, I want
All
your
right, you
badge
guys.
number, I want
I'm
your
gonna have
name,
my
I
smoke.
want your
I'll be back
dad's
in a
name, I
moment.
want your next door neighbors, and I'm like, leave me alone. What happened?
How dare you come and try and help me?
Yeah, you called me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why are you
Jobs
yelling
I'm
at
not
me?
jealous of.
Dude, we got two amazing individuals. Both now are doing. You're expanding into different content now. You're like, hey, let's figure out let's break down cop videos. Let's have some people being stupid. Let's also do the family
This
stuff.
very, very polite way of saying, let's exploit my wife's innocence on the internet.
I'm glad you said it because she would have been about, well, Nick said it, not me. Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. I mean, I've been in the game for a while, had the ups and downs, typical roller coaster of being a YouTuber. But she was courteous enough to, at my behest in like 2018, be like, honey, why don't you just sit down with me, we'll see what happens, do what I do, and we'll do it together. And she's a very not online person, doesn't like cameras, blah, blah, blah. But fast forward 5-6 years, she's got a little niche audience that loves her, you know, she's much more comfortable on camera. So we sit down, shoot the shit, is kind of that relationship, like the squabble, the banter between us, I think that people like. And then, as far as what I do, I'm just throwing pickles, like I've said this before, throwing pickles at the fridge, seeing what sticks, you know, I'm just trying new shit.
I actually watched quite a few of your videos, and there's nothing funnier than when your wife asks you a question, and I can just see your brain start calculating. You hit pause on the video, and you're like, I need to explain a level 9 meme to somebody that has no internet history background. You're like, yeah. It started when we killed this gorilla in 2016, and then there was...
Dude, the best moment, and I'll never forget it, I still give her shit to this day. It was right at the height of Marvel supremacy. What was it? Infinity War Endgame had just come out, and it was Thanos was the most popular bad guy of all time. And we're sitting down and we're doing a video, and a Thanos meme comes up, and she's like, who's that?
Here we go.
And it was just like, excuse me? You ask me, who's Thanos? She's like, yeah, who's Thanos? And then, so ever since that day, I was like, the snap, I pull out the fucking power glove, whatever. I was like, so I absolutely annihilated her, and it was very fun. And I was like,
Let's get down
It's
to
always
this.
that bully.
yeah, into the, like 5 years later to this day, I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a Thanos moment right now, aren't we? Yeah.
Bullying is love. Love is bullying.
Yeah, she's just that type of like normie
Alright,
Instagram
phone's open
bitch
for
that's just like,
chat.
ooh, my fun little like recipes. And, like,
Let's see if I
fun thing
remember my
on,
buttons now,
like,
shall
X,
we?
like watching people get murdered and like doing all this dumb shit, like going down rabbit
No,
holes,
wrong
and
button.
then we get together for a couple
I
hours
almost
a
started
week and
nighttime.
watch it together. And I'm
My
like,
bad.
oh yeah, I've seen this a million times. She's like, what's
Let's
this?
go back to
I'm like,
morning.
I don't have the time to explain it to you, so
Okay.
we're just gonna move on to the
I
next
don't remember all
one.
my buttons.
So it's a
Oh,
fun
wait.
dynamic
Yes, I do.
that works between the two
Almost.
of us, and as corny as
There
it
we
might
go.
sound, it's like having done it for like 5 or 6 years now. It's cool as a married guy to like have an excuse to sit down and kind of like banter with your chick for a couple hours a week in a way that's like a business, but also in a way that like you're doing it because it makes money, but also it like there's been some really cool organic moments that have come from it, which has been really cool looking back. Yeah.
You get like Nick. You started incorporating your wife. I incorporated.
You know, I just remembered I
Zach.
don't
And
actually
those are
have
those things where
a place
it
on my map
strengthens
to
your
go.
relationship. Because
Yeah.
I think when you're really solidified,
I'm just gonna go down to-
family relationship, like, and it shows on camera, everyone's happy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then others like, oh man, that's
Trade
dope.
market.
I want
Don't
that.
have a
You know,
trailer,
it's like,
do
just
I?
have fun with it.
Yeah, I bring my wife on to bond, not for money laundering and
Alright,
tax
that's-
evasion. That's why my wife's on, so we can bond.
I don't see two big bags of money when I stare at
Oh, I
my
got a
wife.
long
No,
ways
that
to
doesn't
drive.
happen to me. Certainly
I think.
not. I don't
Okay,
exploit her in
fuck it.
every single
We'll do it.
thumbnail possible. Right?
She went on Unsub. She went on stage, and the audience like,
Went fucking nuts.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I didn't take it off, did I?
Went
what'd you
nuts.
say?
Just walked in because she's in all my ads. She
Shot
delete
again.
me. She just walked out, said it. The whole crowd. Yeah.
And she like came out. She's like, oh my god, oh my god, what do I
Ooh,
do?
we got a little ways to go.
I'll text
No, not
How
tired.
do you-
No,
how
I
do
don't
you
care.
use
I'll
your
figure it
debit
out.
this month? Can you wear that? Can you wear that
Jesus.
low cut shirt that you love?
Yeah.
User down.
Oh, holy shit.
That's my favorite story. Well, you have. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it.
I mean, I'll ask her later. We can cut it out. I'll let you know. I mean, like, my wife does not do it. Like, my wife has half a margarita at the Mexican restaurant at lunch, and my arms feel heavy. Yeah. Like, 100%. I love you, but this is why you're the DD. Like, I'm not drinking, so you can have half a margarita.
My wife's
Okay,
the
I'm getting
exact
fucking
same.
trash.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, so we go out. This is the San Diego show, and everything's going great. She does a
Okay.
little delete me bit. She goes out to
Check
the
out the
crowd.
cruise.
Bye, love you. Go watch me perform,
More
whatever.
throttling.
I come back out after the show to find my wife in the crowd, and my wife is on fucking Jupiter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, Hannah ate the entire chocolate bar.
Uh-oh.
I got so far to go. I'm gonna have to refill
okay.
on gas and
How
shit
much?
when I get there.
Is an entire chocolate bar.
She wasn't feeling it, by the way. You know.
But it
Oh,
was.
I've been there. Yeah. It's not doing anything.
You want to take a guess on how
never
much
done
a chocolate
Never.
bar was?
Is this
Never
THC?
No, I wonder if I got a
She
speeding
doesn't
ticket.
Is this
eat at
THC?
all, yes.
100
We're going
milligrams?
62.
I was gonna say about 100.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
Thanks for playing, dude. If I do 10, I'm legless, and I'm a big guy. So I can, yeah.
I wish I had a steering wheel to make this smoother.
She was paranoid. It was aggressive.
It feels like you're dying for several hours. It's a horrible
You gotta
experience.
realize she was in a crowd with 1,100 people that all knew who she was, and they all wanted to come up and talk to her. And she's
That's just not
fucking
that's not
like.
Dude, I walked up. I was like, "You good?" I was like, "You can go eat," and lay down. And she like,
She just starts ascending into heaven.
I was like, she looks mad. She's like,
I'm not buying your dinner.
talking to you.
I have questions. Does she normally do that with like
Nothing.
Not a thing.
So who convinced her to eat the chocolate bar?
Well, she
like,
wanted-
"Oh, this'll take the edge
she
off."
wanted to have like a little tiny bit, like 5 milligrams.
Sure.
And then
Like a little slither
at
of the
some
chocolate.
point, like it was broken into 5 milligram increments, like it was like a Kit Kat, and like the only edible they could buy apparently was 100 milligrams altogether, and they were gonna like, I don't know, save it, share it, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And her brother, who does do edibles and stuff, and he turned around and she was like, Yeah, she just ate the whole thing because she said it wasn't working. And
Yeah.
now it's definitely fucking working.
That is the way. That is the roller coaster that people get on. It's like, man, it's been 10 minutes. I don't feel a
Jeez,
thing.
20 minutes. This isn't working.
Jesus Christ, Kylo Ren, calm down.
Yeah. The good news is that's a mistake you typically only make once.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I've been to multiple of those houses.
Yeah.
Multiple. They're sitting. I've had one guy who was just sitting on the curb, just freaking out.
Is there any
I'm
point I
like,
can
"What's going
pass
on?"
these
He's like,
guys?
Oh, I just like my heart's racing, and I'm like, what did you do something different today? He's like, "God, I ate this edible," and I was like, there it is.
Yep. That's
There
it.
it is.
Because
How much
especially
did you eat? I was like, I don't know.
now they're strong.
Plot
You
twist:
see,
I
like,
ate the entire edible.
They're strong, but they're also so. You know, depending on where you buy them from, like they sell them 20 milligrams, 100 milligrams. You get the gummies, the chocolates, whatever food choice you want. But the beauty of it now, like as it's become so mainstream, is you can really have a reasonable idea of how many milligrams you're having, so you can dose it correctly. I'm thinking back to like when I was in high school. I just had my buddy Zach, who was like dealing cocaine at the time. They like, dude, I made a batch of
There we
brownies.
go.
I'm like,
Cruise control's back
okay, how
on.
many do I have? He's like, I don't know, a couple. I'm like, okay.
brownies?
Yeah, I'm like, and literally, it's literally brownies with, like, he didn't even like make it into butter. It was just like nuggets of weed just like in the brownies.
He's
And I'm
not
just
good
like,
at mixing either.
So I eat two, and I'm like, of course, same thing. This is like back when edibles weren't as mainstream, and it was probably one of my first experiences. I like smoked off.
Hopefully
in
those
high
people
school,
are
blah,
okay
blah,
on the side of the road.
22 brownies and same thing. I'm like, oh, this isn't working. I'm like drinking a fucking, I'm drinking like a Zima or something at the time. I don't even know. So I ate like 2 more brownies, and then fast forward 3 hours, and I'm literally like plastered on the tile kitchen floor like this, just like spinning for 6
I'm in
hours.
danger.
God damn it.
dude, it is. We had
The times
That's
when I
the
wish I was
time of
in
my life, the best night
my
ever.
other truck instead
there was
of
my one buddy. He
the semi.
eats them, and then he's like, "Oh, want some?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm good." I was like, What's that? What does that bottle say on the dosage?" He's like, "Oh, they're 400 milligrams per cube." I was like,
Excuse me?
"Huh? Why? Why?" He's like, "Well, there's 10,000 milligrams in this box." I'm like,
Like a bouillon cube? You make a stew or something? Why the fuck would you get 400 milligrams in a cube?
Make it a nice chicken noodle
Or
soup.
when I have to make a gas stop and I'm gonna put laundry in.
"You just eat these?" He's like, "Yeah."
He's just upper decking it.
Just part of a convoy going to yourself.
5,000 milligrams an hour right now. I'm fucking floating.
I do 6 a day. What's the
You gotta
problem?
call it like it's called the All Spark.
The whole spark.
Oh my god.
People are crashing on 5 milligrams. This guy's eating the Tesseract. It's like,
Like, oh man, it was a good time though. It was a good time. Mr. Leon got to join us at the Boston show.
Yes.
yeah, Boston's amazing.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, they were both there. I keep thinking Atlanta. I don't know why.
We didn't know that either of us were there
I did
until we
not.
met here
That was
down,
wild, yeah.
down at the range day today. But the Boston show was unreal. I had a
Unreal.
beautiful time. I
Unhinged.
didn't have anything to compare it to, obviously, versus other shows. But from my
Oh, nice,
perspective,
he's turning
the crowd
right.
energy was
Good.
good. I was very happy as someone who takes pride in coming from New England, the Boston area. Obviously, they're big into sports, and I was like, this is like a sports team vibes, dude. Your
Yeah,
fans
it's
are
crazy.
Ravenous.
They were
like,
ridiculous.
after everything,
No,
every
to my
joke,
left.
fucking
No,
USA
to my
chants,
right.
like the
Let's
whole
go.
nine.
They actually
Like, dude,
liked you
I
guys.
got a video
Yeah.
of 1,100 people yelling "fuck communism" and chanting
yeah.
USA.
It was awesome.
Henry Cavill.
Henry
Cavill
Cavill
also
at the end. Yeah, the energy was palpable. It was a really good time, and
Yeah, you can't fake that. You know, you
no,
can't
that's
fake
awesome.
that. You either have that or you don't have that.
It was one of those
I
wild
mean,
kids
it's
that
clear
we've
now
discussed
again.
before,
So at
like
least I can
getting
kind of
everyone
put
wanting
myself
to do
like
it because
64 and
that-
just hold
when
myself
small
here
shows
because
it
I'm
is,
trying to
like,
do
it
not
is
the
hard
speeding.
to be like, hey, we're doing a tour.
250
and
miles
no
low,
one wants to
though.
be on
Jeez.
stage. We talk behind cameras, not behind
Totally
a
different vibe.
microphone.
Yeah.
And then it is like, hey, we have to put in work and we gotta make these seat sales and then we have to expand, but you have to start at the bottom. And you're just like
Yeah, you gotta
resetting.
earn
You're like, oh, okay, we gotta sell out these. Okay, now we're here. Now we gotta sell out these. Okay, now big venues, bigger.
brick by brick, as they say, you know.
This brick by brick.
I'd be really curious to hear like a comedian, like a
I'm doing
actual
64 and I
legit
have a
comedian's
card catcher.
interpretation of like, oh, you guys have done 5 live shows and then sold out the Wilbur Theater. Dicks.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. Like you think it's just new media though. It's because you've like think of how many hours and how much of the time you've spent grinding to build an audience through digital medium, which is the best. So you have now the luxury of selling out these awesome venues because
Unless
of
route
all the
stop,
work
I
you're
don't
building
need
into
that.
like through what we're doing here at this
People
table.
just see that tip of that
No.
iceberg, you know?
Whereas like it's not like the podcast has been grinding at podcast open mics. You know what I mean? Going on the podcast version to kill Tony for 30 seconds at a time. All right, guys, we have 60 seconds. Say something funny.
No, because the great outside.
He's like, so guys, communism.
Any Canadian trucker. I wouldn't mind trying to actually go through Winnipeg. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I know the city. I live there, but it'd be nice if it was that and like my own little town here.
That's the other thing. People are always like, "Oh, are you nervous going out there?" I was slightly nervous the first time, but like, we're not trying. It's not like we're comedians. We have to go out there and win over the crowd. Like everybody already likes us.
There you go.
It's like, and it's you can't bomb. Like if your joke falls flat, there's 4 other dudes to catch it and throw it back up and hit it. It's
Or call them out. Like,
absurdly easy.
You guys have that type
I still got a
of
bunch
chemistry
of
with each
fuel.
other where you can just play off each other so perfectly. You know, that's
And that was the interesting part to me as someone who's watched a lot of stand-up is it's like you guys it's like communal stand-up really, but you're sitting down. It's sit down. It's sit down. Yeah.
Everyone put that.
It's communal sit down. But it's the same idea. It's bits, it's jokes, it's
And dude, what is wild is like the Boston show compared to the Buffalo's different set.
Completely different.
really.
Completely, yeah, because we just like it just started going into a new direction. It was like, okay,
I choke slam Rich through a table.
yeah, literally. I'm sitting here. I'm like, I wonder what the Boston show is going to be different like than the Buffalo show. And then I click on like the story on Instagram. All of a sudden, I just see up through a table. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I tried this.
Left-handed.
Left-handed?
Left-handed, because we talked about it like 4 months prior, and I completely forgot about it because like Bill's Mafia,
you were coming
it's like
off
a tradition. Yeah, so right pec's torn. I can't lift shit up. And I was like, he starts pulling out the tables, and I was like, oh shit, we're still doing this. Cool. And I like turned to look back. Nobody has any clue what's going on, and I'm like, okay, it looks like I'm doing this left-handed.
You know what he's doing? You know what he's doing?
Here we go.
Fuck it, left-handed. Here we go.
Something's happening.
Rich just walks out, grabs the table, throws it on the chair. It's like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then it's like the entire slam thing.
He's like going through the show notes. He's like, where is this?
And then I'm like, that's not scripted, by the way. None of us knew that was about to happen.
The funniest part is because I posted it, and the amount of people in the comment section that were like, wow, dude in the American flag shirt did it dirty. He didn't even sell the move. Like, people are mad that he's like making wrestling look fake because he popped right back up and he didn't sit there and act like his kidneys were in agony for 10 minutes. Yeah. People are legitimately upset about it. Like, Rich proved that wrestling's fake all by himself.
I love that. I have to imagine that was Rich's idea, right? Because so
Absolutely.
as a New England born and bred sports fan, like Buffalo's a big competitor to the Patriots.
They're crazy.
And they're known for their table slams, right? So like every football season. So I'm just saying.
Everyone knows the table
So
slams.
Buffalo fans are psychotic. So like every football season, every weekend, there's clips on Twitter of people getting like life-changing injuries because they're tailgating. And I'm talking like off of a roof through like a flaming table, and they just like half the time they miss the table and just land on the fucking ground, and it's just a bunch of drunk retards everywhere. And
Happy
it's like,
Sunday.
And that's literally what Buffalo sports is known for. It's like them just like trying to outdo each other with who can do the craziest table slam. And as a New England fan, I just love sitting back and watching people essentially like ruin their back for the rest of their lives over a fucking cheeky Twitter video. It's the best.
I'm never going to win a Super Bowl. I'd probably feel better about it if I was paralyzed.
Now I have an excuse to watch every Buffalo game.
The ER is just sitting there. It's like, it's like 3 o'clock. Guys, get ready. You know it's coming sooner or later.
It's fucking
5 ambulances roll up. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you were up in Buffalo, you'd be getting calls like that all the time.
Absolutely.
23-year-old man.
For the 24-year-old male, injury to the shoulder, back, neck. What happened? Up, table.
I will say it was the funniest thing, the weirdest thing when it's like Buffalo. It's like racism.
Well, everybody else
I
is a
look at
good
Brandon, I'm
time.
like, we need to leave. They're like chanting. I'm like, what?
This is getting oddly strange.
Show. And they're like, we weren't used to the stopping thing. Like everyone cheers the stomping.
I've never seen that at a live show before until
Dude,
that.
yeah, everyone's like that, and it is the entire like.
Yeah, that's cool. So they just get going with both feet?
Yeah, and it is rumble. It's like thunder, and you're like, what the like. How was that from the front, Dave? Like when you hear that, it's like the place is going.
No, I should have gone through the gas station. Probably would have been faster.
You start getting a little plaster coming out of the ceiling, like trickling down on the
Look at that! I
Like
have
an
an officer
old
behind
church
me.
from like 1803. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like they had a boiler downstairs.
We broke
Like,
up a sterile building.
The green room had the original boiler. With the chopped off gas lines. It was fucking nuts.
But it was, dude, WME, like Ben, like he's watched people like some of the best sets, and he's like, I have never.
Did the blue car just pull out of the
seen
gas station
an
behind me?
audience react like
That
this.
energy,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, you
The
mean
one where
you just go,
unsubscribe broke the building.
come, and 1,000 people are cheering.
And everyone's getting shit wrecked.
Yeah.
Beyond belief.
We sold out all the alcohol at every venue we went to.
I believe that.
So that's the best part because that's where they make most of their money. So
Oh,
they're
dude,
going to
yeah.
be begging you to come back. Like if you're doing like a violin recital and it's like 3 people are drinking like Chardonnay and the whole crowd, they're like, fuck this, dude, this sucks. Like sure, ticket sales are cool. But if you can like the bar, yeah, you can come anytime you want.
Oh, wait. That's what we got told. They seen us on tour and they're like, hey, you're not coming here? Whatever you need.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, 100%.
We double stocked all the liquor. We got
There we go.
Unlike
Back
some
to
venues,
49.
Boston
I
wasn't
got
free.
170 miles to go.
That's also true.
Yeah, the Boston, all those shows, just like, I'm super happy.
I also really don't see a point of a 45 miles
Yeah,
speed.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see that.
We had so like 4 cinema cameras.
Yeah.
With 5 cinema cameras plus backup roamers.
Do you have an ETA on when that's going to come out?
I think 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
On Pepperbox?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even know that it was getting recorded. I was in line for the meet and greet, and I'm just kind of leaning there. Now that I'm picturing what it looked like I felt like it was one of those like leaning against the high school building with your foot up type of moments. And I'm leaning up against the railing. I'm just kind of looking off in the distance, just kind of taking in the environment. And I was like, kind of snap myself back out of it. I look forward, and there's just a camera panning across me. I was like, well, that's great.
Caught me in my
perfect.
own fucking
Freaking caught.
You were getting recognized a bunch while you were there.
I was getting recognized a bunch.
So
that
you
was
had a bunch of pictures
That was
of
a
people.
heck of a time. It's not my own element. You know, I've got recognized at hospitals or EMT events and stuff like that. But walking in there and like as soon as I walked in the building, there was just a circle of folks that were there for the meet and greet, and I just walked in. They're like,
I just enable cruise control
"Do I know you?" I'm
for
like,
the moment.
I don't think. Are you a paramedic? I'm like,
Uh-oh.
I'm an EMT. He's like, "Oh, are you on TikTok?" I'm like, I am on TikTok, and it just started from there, and that it didn't end until we left the bar across the street.
I'm glad our audience needs to be told not to shove stuff up their ass.
recommends not putting things in your
Yeah.
ass?
They
Because I don't
slap
like
you.
that advice. Yeah, they're like, how dare you try and dictate what goes in my ass?
How dare you?
I mean, we gotta ask, what's the weirdest thing you've had to pull out of somebody's ass?
So I didn't pull it out. As an EMT, I try really hard to put anything or take anything out. of
Don't
anybody.
sneeze, you'll break the light bulb. Like, yeah, what happened?
So I mean, the story that ended up happening was when I was on a paid department. So I ended up going on a call, and it's when I do these rants. It's always like
Get in there.
when I do these rants, they're serious about how it happened. So like it's always like some stupid 3 o'clock in the morning just junk that happens. And what ended up happening was it was a 3 o'clock in the morning call, and we get dispatched for a 19-year-old male who has an injury to the or an impaled object injury to the abdomen.
How do I
So I'm
switch
like,
to
oh, this
the
is great. This guy
side
fell-
menu again? I
this
don't
guy
remember.
fell on a pair of scissors, fell on a knife cooking. I'm like, what? This could be anything.
No.
We get over there and he's just sitting there on his couch, kind of, pardon the pun, but cocked to one side, and he's just looking at me
No.
with these doe eyes. I'm like, hey,
I
brother,
don't
my name's
remember.
Anthony. What's going on? He's like, you're not bleeding. What's going on? He's just
Yeah, no.
hands me a Suave bottle, from a Suave shampoo bottle, and I'm just like, why doesn't it have a lid on it? Why doesn't
I
it have
don't
a lid on
remember.
it? And he's just looking at me like,
Why?
understood.
Ah,
okay.
there we go.
Okay, we're gonna get through this. All right. Yeah. So I asked him how it happened. He's like, I was in the shower. I sat down. He's like, I sat down on it and I was trying to have some fun and
Okay.
thing came off and now it's sealed like a
Off
time
to
lock
my
at the
next
bank and it's not
job.
coming out. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, we're in this now.
Was this like one of the pump top lotion?
No,
Was
it
this
was,
like
it was
almost like a
straight up,
fish
it
hook
was a straight up
situation?
straight up screw top Suave bottle. Yeah, so
Of course,
you
and
know,
now the
And
headset's
this top just went, boop.
yeah, top just
Fuck's sake.
unscrewed and just, and that was it. So we ended up transporting him, and with the burden of knowledge of how that's coming out, it's not a fun image. It's exactly like just what you think it is. They're gonna spread it and they're gonna go in there and they're gonna get it. So
Get the forceps out.
yeah, exactly right. You may as well just get like the jaws of life.
I feel like there's a basic,
Fucking
like,
just
a
roll
real
down the hill
basic
and off the
level
gas.
IQ test. It's like if you're
May
gonna
as
drill
well.
something into your ass, absolutely prerequisite is to make sure there's no detachable parts. In the part that's in
One
your
would
ass.
think.
Like so that's like kind of like, are you below or above 100 IQ? It's like below swab bottle, cap comes off of my colon. All right, now so
It's a bad day.
All right, yeah,
it's a bad day had by all.
It's like you
My
want, it's like you
erector
want,
set broke
you know,
inside
like
me.
20 minutes
I
before
didn't
that,
see
he's
it
like
coming.
on, he's like, he sees a BuzzFeed article about prostate massage, and he's like, this could be something.
I
And he's
fell
like,
on it. Yeah,
really
I
have
don't have a
anything.
dildo. I could make one out of Legos.
Maybe the shampoo bottle with a very easily removable cap will work.
Exactly. I fell on it. Yeah, everybody falls on a 3-foot statue of Barbara Streisand in their bathroom. That's just how it works.
Next thing you know, you sneeze, and Anthony's standing over you like this.
Harbor Strike.
How many times have you heard when in that situation where like I fell?
Yeah, that's the answer. It's 95% of the time.
I
didn't
fell and the
expect this.
shampoo bottle untwisted itself
Yeah,
and
it's like-
wound up in my ass.
The big answer you'll get is, I didn't expect that to happen. I just want to sit there. And you know, it's one of those things. Like the
Nobody
new
does.
thing on the internet is, we listen, we don't judge, right? But my answer to them is just
I
always,
judge.
what did you think was going to happen? Like, I just want to know, how did you think this was going to go?
Just looking at him with those big doe eyes, like,
Yeah,
oh
he
no,
just-
he's gonna talk about me on TikTok.
Yeah, you're probably at that point now. You f***ing comment there.
Can I get a selfie?
What? I'm a huge fan. This is really
This is so sorry to listen.
Did
to
you do
not
this because
happy
you
with
know I'd show up?
This is why I say don't meet
Guilty.
me like this. I literally
Guilty.
do not want to meet you like this.
100 miles to go.
Nice, dude.
How long have you been doing TikTok?
TikTok, I think I started in like 2021. And I was just making like, it's just like everybody else starts out, just making goofy stuff to pass the time, have a good time, and just put stuff out there that made me laugh. If it didn't make somebody else laugh, it made me laugh, and that was something. And then one day I made a video, and it was just this weird like, I guess the best
Note
way to
to self,
describe it is
do
like
not
a
look down at ground.
serpentine-looking kinetic thing that was going like this, and I was like, that is phallic. I'm just like, I don't know. So the whole video was just this serpentine thing going, and I just cut right to me just real fast, and it was like a hard zoom, and I was just like, no. And that just detonated. One of my friends sent me a message, and they were like, you need to go on your TikTok right now, because that is exploding. And I'm sitting there like, okay, well, my previous video hit like 16 people. So I guess the new one's probably gonna hit like 100 people. It's exploding. So I looked at it, and it was like 300,000 after like 3 hours. I was
What was
like,
the phallic thing? What are we talking about?
it was like this weird, like gold-colored kinetic spiraled sculpture that was just doing
That
this.
was in someone's ass?
No.
okay.
It was just sitting on a table. It's like,
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah. I mean, listen, I haven't seen that thing in a long time, so who knows where it ended up. But,
In great places.
like after you tell somebody no so many times, it's like, but my body's telling me yes.
So how long have you been in EMT?
So I've officially been an EMT for
Since
just
when?
a
How
little over
long did I
4
have
years.
for that job?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a relatively newer EMT.
What did you do before that?
I have done everything under the surface. I was a range safety officer at a firearms range. I
256 minutes. Okay, well,
I was
I'm
in
gonna
the
pick up
restaurant
the
business
gas
for,
now.
God, 10, 11 years. I was a food manager
Okay.
for the Job Corps program, if anybody's familiar with the Job Corps program, which is a really cool program the government does for underprivileged or second or third chance individuals. It's a really good program, and I ended up being the food manager over there. Just everything under the sun. I installed pools, just everything. And then finally, I got out of the restaurant business, got out of the Job Corps business, and decided like I needed to do something a little bit more of value, at least in my own mind, something a little more of value. And my mom always had this sign that was above our couch. And not that my mom's a huge Muhammad Ali fan, so I have no idea why this was even there, but I guess it's something that she believed in. It just said, service to others is the rent that we pay for our room here on Earth. And it's something that just always stuck with me. It's something that I put on whenever anybody would ask
How
me
much
for
I'm
what
gonna
my
spend on
favorite quote
fuel?
is, it was always that.
Not
So
bad.
when I finally settled in on
$67
what I
for
thought I
48
wanted to do, I
ounces, nice.
messaged one of my friends. I'm like, hey, how do I get involved in EMS?
Okay,
Like,
I'll
it's something I
forgo.
really think I want to do, but it seems like such a difficult thing to get involved in. He's like, go down to the department and say hi. And I'm like, oh, well, you run a hard bargain there, but I think you can do that. So,
Please God, we need warm bodies in our
They're
retarded.
looking for people.
Basically,
Yeah.
like, and that was pretty much it. I went down there and I probated for about 6 or 7 months, and they're like, do you want to go to EMT school? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel confident? I'm like, I feel good. My trainers were amazing. And I went to EMT school, and then as soon as EMT school started, people started getting coffee sneezies, and 2 weeks later, COVID hit. So I became an EMT right in the heart of COVID. They shut school down. It became remote. It took me twice as long just to get through school because I couldn't do practical. We couldn't meet in person to do hands-on stuff. So I finished EMT school book-wise and test-wise.
Almost
but then
at
I had to go
destination.
back
Pick up the load.
and do all the hands-on physical stuff.
70 miles
and
to go.
past
I
that,
believe that should all just be
which went well.
highway.
And then, You still
then
have
once
to
I
take
go
the
to
national
pick
in
it
New Jersey.
up,
We
I'm gonna
take
throw
a national
laundry
test
in,
in order to get your
make
New
another
Jersey
cup of
EMT
coffee, and then we'll
certification. So
take the load.
went ahead and I had to sit that. That was 2 weeks later, so I finally passed that. And after that, I was done. And yeah, then that's when the crazy stuff started happening. I was still working at the gun range, and in my first week of being an EMT, somebody decided that they needed to take a 357 Magnum and take it to this underneath their chin, and he survived that. We were able to get him. Yeah, I was.
One of your first calls?
It was. I wasn't even. It wasn't even in my town. I happened to be on the retail desk. And the way the place looks, you have the retail desk. There's an area where people come in and pay for their membership or their range time and all that stuff. And just on the opposite side, there's you got the glass wall, and there's what was the 25-yard range, the main
Wait,
range.
he showed up to the range and did it?
Exactly right, he did.
So is this like a range-owned gun?
This was a range only gun. Yeah, and we have special rules.
Damn.
We had special rules, like if you're not allowed to go in there and rent a
I
firearm
don't know
by
why
yourself. That was a
single
main
tapping
rule.
did that.
And he wasn't by himself. He was with his girlfriend.
That was supposed to turn my
And,
blinker
he
on,
was
but okay,
basically-
again.
Yeah, it was insane. So I was in the retail counter.
Babe, do I have the date for you?
We have these we have earpieces in so we can
I'm gonna get
communicate with
this
everybody. And
Jesus Christ.
all you see is there's protocol in case something bad happens, right? So you see I just see the range starting to clear out, the privacy curtains just get cut down. I'm just like, and there was a guy next to me who was already an EMT for a little while. It just so happened he just started. He had just started at the range. I've been at the range for about a year at that
Sorry.
point.
When you say EMT, like EMTB, or
No,
paramedic?
EMTB. We were both EMTBs.
What is B and
B is basic, intermediate, and paramedic is
Oh,
the
got
top
you. So
level.
it's like,
yeah,
hey,
so
the
like this is
level
like
of trauma you can
entry
respond to
level
and help.
of
Yeah,
The
that
level
makes
of
sense.
like your depth of
42
protocol,
miles to
different
go,
things
let's
you
get
do.
past the
So I looked and I
semis.
see the curtains cutting, and then he has no idea what's going on because he's literally brand new. And I just tapped him. I'm like, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We jumped the counter, which is glass, so it's probably not the smartest thing. And we run into the range while everybody's running out. And I look down, and one of the main owners of the building at that time was holding this guy, and he basically, when we watched the video back, he was doing what was called fly fishing. So he was taking the gun and go, sorry about that. He would take the gun and go, boom, boom, type of stuff like that. And finally, you just see him look and just boom. And
Wait,
he
was it an accident?
Oh, it was not an accident. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It was
Fuck's sake.
like, oh, I'm in
I should have to hold it for that to activate. I shouldn't just
just
automatically shut off after
no
the
one
second.
And what he
catch
did was
on.
he raised his head like this when he did
Jeez.
it. So instead of it going like this, it went out like this and just took out like the side of his. It
But
was
we're
a
almost
bad
there.
scene. It was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm a week into this. This is like the level of trauma that I had seen before. That was like little Johnny with the skin knee, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Fuck's
we
sake.
basically we gathered him up. We did the best that we could to stop the bleed, and just did everything that we were supposed to do. The town EMS showed up, dumped him on the stretcher. We cooked it and booked it. The other guy and myself, we took the ride, and we went over to one of the two really
almost
good
there,
level
about
1
20
trauma
miles
centers
to go.
in Jersey. And we got him there. I was actually able to get almost conversation out of him. I asked him if he had allergies. He was like, but we got stuff out of him. And then the
Okay, so I want to check after I pick it up. My guy's gonna need
the
sleep.
guy, and then the medics were
My
just
eyes
like,
sting a little bit. What's going on?
and then you just see the medic, pushed a little plunger, and that was it. The K took hold, and that was it.
Perfect.
Knocked him out, and then we got to the center. Now to paint a picture for you, I'm wearing a red RSO shirt and khaki pants. By the time I left, I was wearing a red khaki shirt or a red shirt and red pants. So we get back in there now. Everybody's back at the range, and the range is obviously shut down. The mayor's there. It's freaking nuts. And we walk back in. You know that slow-mo vision of like the astronauts walking down the gangway to go to. That's what it
Like
felt
the hero
like.
shot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We walk in and just eyes just panning. I'm like, okay, you don't have to look at me like this. That's cool. And we go into the, I guess it's sort of like a classroom where all the employees were gathered, and it turns out that one of the guys who works there, his girlfriend is a crisis counselor. So we walk in, now everybody had already been in there, we're sitting there, we walk in, we get in the back, and she goes, hey, you guys are the ones that went to the hospital, right? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, she's like, are you okay? Do you need anything? You're like, yeah, no, we're good, man. That was wild. We're just like, we can handle that. It's
Yeah.
fine. If you can handle that, you can handle anything. So,
Jumping into the new profession head first.
that's
as
it,
they
man.
say, yeah.
There was no there was no leeway. It was just
Man,
jump on
COVID
in.
is crazy.
Yeah, you would like maybe like a broken arm.
Man,
you
that
know,
would have been
something.
stellar.
Not
you
like
know?
a failed SUI attempt. Safe to say.
All I can think is like you're so lucky it was EMTBs there, because if it was a bunch of fresh Army medics, they would have cut your throat open and tried to shove a big pin down it, just let you
needs to
breathe. Like totally unjustified, but they would have done it.
I mean, I didn't have a pen. The problem was I didn't have a pen. That's where the problem.
Nasopharyngeal down the hole.
Well, the thing is, like, Army medics don't do trachs. Army medics do
They do
crikes.
crikes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
a crike severs your vocal cords if they
That's
have to
just
do
to
it.
get oxygen in there, assuming
Yeah,
this is
so
all
like
fucked up.
if you get your face blown up and you can't breathe through your mouth, like a
Right.
normal hospital does a trach,
Right, they'll just
which
shove it
goes
down your
through.
mouth.
Well, no,
Or
there's
through the- yeah.
different like soft spots in your neck. There's a higher one where you can do a trach,
Yeah.
but your epiglottis is in the way, so it's a lot harder to hit. So the Army's like, just go through the lower one that's a crike. It'll sever their vocal cords, but we'll fix them later.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
just get air in them now.
Look at you
So-
knowing stuff, nerd.
Dude, like, nasopharyngeals were, you've had one, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, you have to
I
know
do.
in
I've
medic
done it
school.
to myself. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I had like a big, dude, yeah, and it was an Army one, and it was like that 2000, it was 2007 when I got that, because they were like, hey, if you do this, you can go on leave earlier from Iraq. I was like, 100% do this
Put
shit.
it up there.
Yeah, 100%. And then it was just like, they're like, okay, lube. And
Did I lube it?
went.
I was like,
You're
did I
like,
lube it?
oh wait, it's going in my nose.
Yeah.
I was ready to do so much more.
I'm getting off easy. I'm
I
getting
have
off
a
easy.
massive pee hole. It leaks out.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just,
I'm gonna piss so fast.
he's like, do you have another one?
Yeah, can you just skip the lube for me? That'd be fine, yeah.
They hung that over your head like all right, who wants to volunteer to get faced by a rubber tube
Yep.
to go on leave?
Oh, and I got it standing up. It was like no laying down. Like Kleinfelder was like, "Got it, come here," and just fucking slammed it down. I was like, "Oh,
We
And they're
holy
just
shit, this sucks,
We
dick."
wonder why people don't want to stay in the army.
It
I'm
is.
gonna see your family until I fucking lose.
It is not a good feeling. It is.
And mine was the one
Not
that I
a
did on
fun
myself was tiny. Like they get.
I had a giant
They
one,
get
like
big.
nothing but pressure. Like,
And
you
your
know, like,
sinuses,
it-
ugh.
yeah. It feels like something is ripping your entire sinus cavity all the way down.
It's
the back of
this
your
big,
throat.
you know. And then
And
you're
your
like,
mind's like, fucking this.
yeah, like you're supposed to be able to measure it, and I was like, no.
Your aid bag is supposed to have lube in it for that, but like they always tell you,
What's the Army say? The Army, go.
if you don't have lube, use whatever you got.
Spit is-
Like
spit is
drills.
wet. Spit is wet.
One dude in a drill with an actual person though forgot to restock his aid bag. Just
But yeah, yes, I've been seeing the messages. Just other people in the room, I just kind of go silent. We're gonna go to the rest stop, and then I'm gonna go have a smoke and get a cup of coffee, which is just across the street, and then we'll get this load to where it has to go.
At least use my own spit.
Sergeant Major would walk around during training exercises like, he needs one. And I would just be like, if I was like that, I was like, this motherfucker.
Did
better
you eat
just
tacos
walk
for lunch?
over me. Please do. Okay, it's good. And then he's just calling people that are dead. It's like, he's hurt. He needs one. He needs one. And then medics are just like giving nasopharyngeals down. And we're doing like the Army big
like
ones.
pinky size.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
me.
like
One size fits none.
I forgot that was a lot tighter than I thought it was. Oops.
Nature's
Man, trucking at its
Dude,
finest.
watching those guys.
That's it.
here.
medic school was so fun. We
Do
used
what
to
you can when
play horse with IVs.
Let's go.
We were doing it in feet. All right, now do it in the vein in their forehead, like all kinds of stupid shit.
I remember the first time I saw somebody have to do an EJ line. I'm just like, oh god, okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be messy.
I gave one to God, what is his? Oh my God, why am I not remembering Leroy Jenkins? And I know it sounds like
Actually, Leroy Jenkins?
Like
Yeah, there's
like the Warcraft.
All right, boys,
that.
let's do
He
this.
gets
Since the rest stop's just a
he
ped.
has the exact same name. Yeah, same name randomly. But he's like, oh, you're good. We've been drinking. He's like, just give me one here. This is it. He's
Just
like, yeah.
give me
I was
one.
like, what? He's like, no, you're fine. You're fine. Here, walk it in, walk it in. I'm like. I gave him one.
Got it.
But it's terrifying. Your buddy's just
I don't know.
like, yes,
I still have his blood in my living room.
yeah.
That was like for practice. What was the?
Yeah,
I'm not accurate the rest
We're
stop.
hungover. It's fine.
Yeah, everyone.
Bonus IVs.
It's
practical hours. That's all it is.
people being people.
Yeah.
So you went TikTok, IG route. Are you getting into YouTube next?
So yeah, right now I mean YouTube is
Oh,
basically
boy.
just
All right,
take this
so I'm
content,
turning
put it
off
on
the
YouTube. But yeah, we're going to be going into an expanded format and trying to test the waters and see how well we do over on long form YouTube content. We can talk with the guys about it.
So
I'm excited about it.
are you still in EMTB?
I am. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm,
are you gonna work towards paramedic, or are you gonna let us talk you out of it to just be a YouTuber full time? we got Ethan to quit his job after like 19 years or however long you've been doing it.
Why did they go game? Why did you go back in reverse?
It's okay.
Change my camera
I literally went and I saw his heart get corrupted. It was beautiful.
You just felt it. You just felt it.
It was funny because I got tagged in his YouTube video where he's like, "I made a decision," and he talks about how he's gonna try to get out of the army now. And all the comment section was like, "Fat electrician won." That was quick.
Wow, he really rolled over.
Ow, my arm.
It was. Let me tell you. It was a really, really hard job. I'm very proud of myself.
check
A
the
normal
map
man
here.
absolutely could not convince somebody that being a YouTuber
I should just push it.
that gets to do whatever the fuck he wants 24/7 is way better job than the army.
It was a Herculean effort, really.
I don't want to be cold anymore. Like, I'm so tired of standing in a people box at 5 in the morning, making sure other grown men dress the same as me. Okay? Fuck.
It's way harder when you're YouTube successful too. That's my favorite. It's like I don't have to be here, but I do.
Yeah,
Dude, that would be the most rough time in the military.
He hits me up and he's like, "Dude, I'm trying to buy a house and they don't like that I make money on the internet." And I was like, "Yeah, that's like the one downside of this job. Trying to explain to the bank you're not a drug dealer."
So this 60 grand, where did you say it came from? Listen, Mike, you're not gonna believe this,
But just look at my analytics.
look right here. Google says I'm wealthy.
Have I ever told you the story how I got my house, like the loan for my house? I could not get a fucking loan to get a house. You go to the bank and you're like, "Here's like my banking and my W for like all my shit," and they're like, "You don't have a W-2." I was like, "Well, no, I work for myself or whatever," and they're like, "But here's like all my bank records. Here's my income." Like I can afford this house. Like it's not a problem. They're like, "Well, you don't have a W-2. We really don't like that." I was like, "I mean, cool, but like I can, I have enough for a down payment. Like I can definitely pay. Like I have a wife and kids. I'm not gonna fucking put myself in a situation where we're gonna be homeless. Like it's fine." And they're like, "Nope." So I went to every bank in town, finally found one, but they were like super weirded out about it. The original loan officer was like, "Cool, completely understand. Very simple. Like you make a video, ads play, you get paid for it, you sell some T-shirts. Makes sense, right? Not super complicated." And then they're like, "We have to take it to this loan committee," which is like, I don't know, elder dinosaurs that are like in charge of all the money on the planet, apparently. And like, yeah,
Faceless dinosaurs that just live in skyscrapers somewhere.
it's just like a board of Nancy Pelosi's that aren't cheating the stock market, shorting Tesla. Yeah, and
I'm not even that
so I
far
had to
into
like
second, buddy.
go before them,
Jeez.
if you will, as two men and a woman, and they're like,
I'm gonna move from the bus, it's
explain
clear.
it, and I was like, I make videos, people watch videos, ads play during videos, I get paid for ads, I also sell T-shirts. Fucking pretty straightforward. And the two dudes were like, "Cool, I get it, that's fine. It's literally the same business model as TV.
Yeah.
Wonderful."
Yeah.
The woman was just not having it. She was, "I don't understand." I was like, "Okay, I'll say it slower." I guess it's literally, it's TV. You know how commercials play? That's how TV networks make money. She's like, "Right, no, I get it, but like, what does your wife do?" And like that's become my new pet peeve over the past 2 years, because I get asked it a lot. Like whenever you're like, "Oh, what do you do?" It's like, I make videos on the internet, and they're like,
Cool, so who's making money in the family?
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, cool, you
Sure you do, buddy.
You
Cool, homie."
sit at home all day eating Cheetos in your underwear playing video games while your wife, the surgeon, makes all the money.
You're
dickhead.
streaming.
Jeez, I didn't think this was gonna be this.
So at this point, it's like already become a pet peeve of mine, and I've developed the perfect answer, and it just
Well, no,
came out
eventually
without thinking
get
of it. So
more
she's
levels
like,
and get more
"So what does
trucks."
your wife do?" And I go, "Me." And the two dudes lost their shit in the middle of this loan committee. Anyway, I got the house. It was good.
Needless to say, Loan secured.
My wife loves that joke.
Loan secured is not invited.
Once I get to where I go to sleep, which is in a couple of turns
That's
here,
what
I'm
we
going to
saw
have
in
my smoke.
post-2008 housing bubble regulations they made, right? To like be, because if it was
There we
2007,
go.
you
Finally
could
on the
walk in
speed
and be
limit.
like, yeah, I've been unemployed for
I mean,
6
I get it,
years
I'm a big
and
ass truck.
$35,000 a day.
That's
Like,
okay.
here's $1 million.
But I got an idea for a business.
Yeah. Like,
I have
you sound like a good
concepts
candidate
of
for a
business.
really expensive loan you'll never be able to pay back.
What's the house hunting meme? Like that house hunting show where it's like, oh, I work part time as a substitute teacher and he collects butterflies. Our budget's $2.7 million for our dream home. Like,
With the home TV, it's that TV, home TV. How do these people
It's like, where do you come from?
speaking of jokes, my wife loves. I text her. I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I told the joke about you getting high at the live show."
Let's go.
She responds, and I quote, "Oh God, did you make me sound like a total loser? Like how I can't handle drinking a margarita?"
That's how we opened it, honestly, yeah. It literally was the segue into the segment.
Oh, I need that fucking turn, son of a bitch.
Edit that out, right?
Babe, we know.
It's like you're married, yeah.
Babe, I would never do that. Edit.
So here's the story. My wife's a ripping lightweight, dude. Can't even drink a margarita.
Immediately replies.
Yeah.
She once opened a bottle of Tito's and I had
proud
to
of you.
carry her out of the building.
Seriously, game, you're just going to make me go all around in a circle.
Your big journey into
Oh, that
YouTube, what do you
doesn't
think?
seem
Dude, for anyone that doesn't know it, short form to long form is
I don't
a
even know
beast
how I got my
to
forwards on
conquer.
now.
It is.
It is, like, and short form, it completely different pay structure where you're like, when you see long form, you're like, I need to
Yeah.
hop into there.
It's a
But it is-
transition worth making.
Yeah, but it's just extremely difficult to do it. Nick, of course, did it within like 6 months. Yeah, Nick was like, we're like,
I have
too
no idea how
long
to turn this off now.
He's like, okay, like this.
Nick's a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah, not a good
Nope,
reference.
that wasn't it. And I just fucked
Dude.
myself.
No, judge yourself.
If you do what Nick did, you're fucking stupid and low IQ.
Where do you rank on the
I don't know
Nick
how to
social
turn my
media
hazards off. I don't remember what the fucking button
Want
it
to do
is.
long form? Sure. Now I'm cranking millions of views a month in 4 weeks. Okay, cool.
Went 0 to Nick.
Hey, look, I started a secondary channel, also millions of views.
Just so you know. I didn't even
Exhausting.
want the views. I didn't even want them.
Exhausting.
Turn my hazards
I had forgotten that you started doing. You started as like short form Instagram guy, or was it
TikTok.
TikTok was the.
TikTok. Yeah.
Do you want to hate me?
No,
No,
I
good.
kind of love you
hate
for
you.
it.
I can
yeah.
make you hate me.
Hate
No, I already do, and so you're gonna make it worse.
Yeah. So I got hurt and my wife kept sending me links for TikToks. You have to like open it through the internet browser. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make TikToks sitting
The
at home
story
high
is so
on
angerful.
Percocet after surgery and just like swiping all day. Eventually like got off Percocet. Like I'll be honest, I think I could be funnier than most of these people. I made one video, 12.6
Yeah,
million
something else.
views
So that much
video
was.
you ever
that I've ever made.
My first video
That's
was
the typical-
12.6.
Yeah, it's definitely not that one.
Typical online experience for anyone looking to get into the space. That's usually all it takes is one TikTok and then.
Trapped in the 300 views.
Yeah.
So I heard the story time and time again.
Next thing,
I don't get people not
next thing you
jumping
know,
in
you're telling
to
female
TikTok
bankers
space.
to go fuck themselves and give me a loan for my house. Well, what do you do exactly? Well, I made one TikTok video one time, and now I want to buy a $1 million house.
I figured the easiest
I
way
think
for me
a
to get
couple
into
blankets
long-form
on.
content is just to hijack Nick's channel. I'll just call it that.
I'm the asshole that like walks in
That wasn't-
next to the
Fuck
person
something.
that's been gambling 8 hours a day for 20 years, just one pull. Jackpot.
Walks away.
Bye.
See you later.
Wow.
Come on, then you take it and you put it down on the roulette table and 10x it, and then you leave.
I went the wrong direction again because I'm too busy trying to figure out a control that I have no physical idea because I've hit every button on my fucking controller. It's probably gonna be the
It was
stupid button
that,
this
and
time.
then.
Yeah, it is the
No,
stupid
you
button.
were
Thanks,
like, I
game.
don't know if I could do it that long. And then now he's doing an hour. video.
Now I'm really fucked
Your
up.
videos have
God
gotten a
damn
bit
it all.
extensive.
Yeah, they're aggressive
And they're a great
now.
watch. They're a great watch. But like, I just remember, I remember the minute and a half long videos, and I remember the 10-minute videos, and I remember the 40-minute videos. And it's
It's crazy how that happens. The longer you're like, okay.
Too busy fucking
The
with
longer
the
the
button
better.
to
These
get
platforms
this
like people
Now
just
there's a
stay on
right
the
direction. God damn it all.
You can be interesting for 40 minutes, which you
does it? You got
admittedly, I
it.
hate
Don't
to
try to
admit it,
chuck
but you do a
beside
pretty
me.
good
I'm
job.
getting my head here.
Yeah, YouTube's usually like, yeah, we like this guy.
Yeah, it's like listening to your dad recant war stories. You know?
But it's also like, if you have that level, like the other day, it is that tism that makes you successful. Where you break down certain stuff where it is the stuff a lot of people would gloss over with analytics or things like that. If you don't track your analytics and see what works versus what doesn't, you're going to fail.
Yeah,
Nick's like,
100%.
hey, guess what? I talk at this speed.
Oh,
Why,
yeah.
Nick?
Oh, yeah.
nobody
this is
knows this
incredible
secret?
stuff.
Okay, never mind. Fuck you.
Nobody knows that secret.
92.
Just tell me, but then cut it out after. So you
No,
cadence I need to do?
Go ahead, Nick. Tell him about 92 beats a minute.
Yeah.
You've
No.
researched cadence of speaking?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You can
I
cut this
speak
out
at
if you want.
92 beats per minute.
Do you have a metronome going when you talk?
No, but I listen to it while I'm reading.
This is gonna make me so angry.
I'm so hard right now. Zach, that's the level of analytics I need in my life.
Zach Veteran with a sign came to my house and he's like, "Why do you have a Yamaha metronome on your next to your bookshelf?" I was like,
Well,
"Cuz," and he goes, "Do you play an instrument?" I go, "No." He's like, "Why?" I go,
I'm on
"I
sister
speak at
gas station
92 beats
too.
per minute." And he just goes,
Yeah, we'll just
"You're a
go
fucking
here
psycho."
and
Zach."
Yeah.
Mamma Mia, I could only get so erect.
Well, no, Zach goes, he goes, I forget which country music star he said it was, but he goes, "Are you familiar with like so and so?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, I've heard of him." He goes, "And how he ruined country music?" And I go, "No, why?" And he goes, "All the songs he makes are at 92 beats per minute." And all the songs that he makes are at a certain like beats per minute, and basically he figured out that if you sing and have your music at this beats per minute thing, you were guaranteed to be Billboard Top 100, even if your song fucking sucks, just because people naturally like that
The
cadence.
most pleasing
And I go,
cadence.
"Yeah, it's 92 beats per minute. That's what I speak at." And he goes, "You're insane."
That's, I was like, I love Nick so much.
The
bro. I was
number
like, oh
one
my-
secret the music industry doesn't want you to know.
Alexa, add metronome to shopping cart.
Yeah, well,
Fun fact, if you buy a metronome, it's like 40, 60, 50, 92, 100, 120. It's like nice round numbers, and then 92.
Is
for
that really
fucking-
like a?
Yes.
So that's a thing,
Yeah,
obviously.
no,
which
92
you-
beats per minute is like a
Is listed on
well-known
it.
thing in the music industry. Like it's, people love it.
It's not reinventing the wheel. I always say, look what works, and you can just. Humans are
Rinse and
very
repeat.
simple creatures at the end of the day, and you get to break it down. That's why we were talking about Mr. Beast, even like how he breaks down human interaction or retention beats and learning all these things. It's like that was a new one. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I know I'm doing good when I throw Eli off.
I know. I was
gonna say, yeah,
for a second, I get
I
all
mean,
that.
I'm sitting next to some of the biggest analytic nerds on the planet right now. And if you can trip up this motherfucker, you know you're stumbling on something like out of the archaic minds of Mordor, dude. It's
Yeah,
like, where'd
literally.
you?
This
did
is
you-
either weapons grade success or completely retarded. This is way over here or way over here.
Dude, how's the content going? Well, I've been speaking at 92 beats per minute. Things are going really good. I just set the metronome up and just fucking hit it, and then like doubled my views in 2 months.
I hear the clicks.
People
in
don't
my
even
sleep.
listen to the words; they're just in their head like. Yeah, this feels. I'm so cheesy. I like that. It's fucking nice.
I can listen to all of their podcasts just straight through, and everything just flows so good. I can't figure out why. What's happening?
Dude, it's so. Well, it's like
Yeah.
frames per second. Like 30 is what the average individual is. Why the podcast 60 is weird.
Andrew,
unless
we'll
you're
get to
watching
the
sports.
session,
24 is when you're conditioned to movies,
Okay.
but you have to separate them because the audience will know what is
in the
going
They
on.
don't know what's going on, but they know it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and dude, and they're so fast. Like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, Cinema 24, like you said. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like these things that are standards that have been so kind of just become so normalized now in our consumption of media or audio, whatever it is, that once you kind of hit that new standard, if you try to stray from that, or you can make creative decisions that are cool, but there is some weird element of just you have to do what people are comfortable with. Like 80% of the way, and then be cute with the 20%, because otherwise they're just gonna be like,
sure.
"Fuck this! This feels weird." I'm out. Yeah.
Deviation is either desire or death, man. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna come up with something great, or you know what? You had a good
No,
run.
I mean, turn to right to get to the gas station. That was fine.
Remember when you used to be good, and then you released that one video that was completely different, and then that's it. You're done.
Adapt and overcome.
That's it.
That is a hard thing.
It's a nice shot of full tank all the way up there.
I love watching everyone's like growing up in social media now, seeing what as you're doing. It's like, oh, this is working. Okay, let's pivot here. Let's do this. Fuck, this is nope. That doesn't work
That did not
anymore. History is just a go-to. Nick crushes it. When you're that dude, I will say the.
Yeah,
one
let me
dude,
tell you,
when
the-
everyone's showing up at the event and 90% are Nick's shirts, I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
again. And it's also thank you everyone that walks up and you're like, Yeah, it is because we do pick on them and they're like, Nick, you're my favorite. But and when it's like 4 people and they're like, you're my favorite, you're like, damn.
It's like I'm. I don't know if you saw, but I'm standing right here.
Yeah.
You probably missed it. That's my fault.
That's good.
I'll wear brighter shoes next time.
Who's your second favorite? Matt.
Haven't even thought about that, really, to be honest. Yeah, I'm here for Nick.
Who's your first favorite? Nick. Who's your second? Matt from Denver.
I hope your seats suck. You.
When,
Thanks
like,
for coming.
when Eli's like, who wants to hear Nick tell a history story? And there's like cheering,
The crowd
and then I
shit
do
their
like
pants,
the,
yeah.
today we're talking about, and it went from like the rowdiest crowd on the planet to everybody's just like,
Pin drop.
Yeah.
just dead
It just goes
quiet.
dead quiet. That's exactly what
It
happened.
was insane.
And you did like, I think on Boston, you did like maybe 3 or 4.
I was doing quite a
And
few.
it was just.
Yeah, we had 2
it was
like
just,
good.
Yeah, they were responding well to it. I mean, you're a good storyteller, obviously, and that, like, as everybody knows, being a good storyteller is like the one skill that's tough to replicate. If you're good at that and you can capitalize on that,
92 beats, man.
very clear. Yeah, 92 ppm storyteller,
Everyone knows that.
history, war,
The
guns, whatever.
strategic
fuck.
genius of
Yeah.
looking at military history, be like, you know what, this needs more dick jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
Full-time job, right there. Fucking boom, career.
Doing the yeoman's work.
What if instead of having a history teacher in a tie on the History Channel, some dude with no sleeves and a fucking camo hat said dick jokes in between all the important facts? Fucking perfect.
Stars are
Nailed. People love it.
Stars are aligning.
It's,
Yeah.
it's exactly what people wanted, apparently.
Scroll. Nobody's doing this. I got this.
Fucking. Now you're doing police breakdowns. You're doing people being drunk, idiot retards.
Yeah.
Doing.
Yeah,
Everything.
there's no shortage of just content online coming up every week of people doing really stupid shit online. So I have a series called Brainworms, which is where it's like kind of a culmination after a couple weeks. It's like, all right, let's look through the last 2 to 3 weeks and see what fucking moron got caught on camera being absolutely retarded.
That I think she was a Mexican girl at the airport.
Airports are like,
Dude, that girl just parked. Was she wrecked her Tesla and then didn't want to give her information? They were trying to be so kind,
so nice. Some people,
so patient, like 30 minutes of patience.
I'm convinced that there are people that intrinsically are dying to be arrested for no reason. Like some of these body cams I watch, and
Yeah, 100%.
like they have every opportunity to be like, oh, that sucks, I fucked up, here's my information, good to see you, I'll be on my way. And it's just like every opportunity they have to be a super or like something. I'm like, what are you doing? Like all you have to do is say like 3 sentences and you get to go home, go to bed, and like you got written a $50 citation, and instead you're screaming like a goat in the back of a squad car right now, cuffed up, and pissing your fucking pants, and then getting throttled at the hospital, then to the police. Like, what are we doing? It's like this kind of masochism in our society where there's this weird, these people that just can't envision complying with any sort of authority because they've been so brainwashed into thinking like they bad, me right, good. So it's just like, I'm watching this and I'm like, say 3 words, thank you, officer, on your way, you're fine. Like, and instead you're now facing like 3 felony charges, resisting arrest, and it's like,
Believe it or not, this could have gone easier.
Yeah, it could have. And I just watch these things, and I say at the beginning of my videos, I'm like, welcome to Brainworms. Thanks for watching, where we gather here today to watch people being absolute retards because it makes us feel moderately better about our own lives. Because you spend any time online and you're like, my life's not that bad, honestly. Like, I know I got problems, but like I don't got this kind of I don't have like these problems. This is some fucked up shit these people are doing.
It's like, if these people exist, which is the like it is. Dude, this girl, holy shit! I've never seen like the officer like 45 minutes of trying to give her a break. It's like, ma'am, like she's
super patient,
and she's like, my ID, and then the car. No, this is my car, and he's like, ma'am, talking on the phone, and she's just an asshole. He's like, fuck you. And he's like, okay, hey, can you come get her? Ma'am, you can't say that. Yes, you can go back in the car. You're not supposed to. You get 1 chance. Okay, we're gonna count down, and nothing. Just utter disregard and
complete detest. And she's like on her phone, ignoring them, telling them to fuck off, like the whole 9. And I mean, there's definitely a level of ignorance to it. I think some of them are young. Obviously, there's booze and whatever drugs involved, which exacerbates any situation ever.
Always helps.
I always say, like, when I'm doing, like, I'm the guy watching this, like, drinking whiskey, being like, look at these drunk assholes as I'm like drinking in my office, like making fun of the drunk assholes getting drunk myself.
No,
but
come
there's
on.
like a level of, I don't know how to put it. Like there's people, there's good drinkers and people that just shouldn't drink ever, right? You know, and there's kind of like a very hard line. And a lot of
We
times,
know.
everybody knows that. You guys
No
fucking
hang-up
know.
profiles.
Yeah, and some people, they just hit a certain point. It doesn't even have to be a lot, where they just become so aggressively resistant to any sort of reasonable solution to an easy problem.
Switch flicks and it's over.
He just like you saying it with alcohol is like just gave me the idea. Do you think stupid people are just perpetually drunk their entire lives?
Some of the absolute
Like
best.
some of them, yes.
You think like we're
Yes.
just operating at a higher level and we have to dumb ourselves down to have fun and they're stuck being stupid and they get angry about it? And that's why they can't handle dealing with like cops or any stressful situation.
Some of the best.
So just you're perpetually fucking 80% lit your entire life because you're an idiot.
I think there's probably a level to that. Yeah.
probably.
But
Some of
there
the
is
best.
there is a level of like they just. I'm always watching these being like, I'm a very pragmatic, like point A to point B. All right, here's the situation you're in. It sucks. What's the easiest way to get to the best resolution from here to there? All right, it's 3 steps. It's not that hard. Like you have to face the consequences of where you're at right now, but there's an easy way to get to the best resolution from here. And I just think that's like a level that like some people just don't understand how to have that sort of foresight into situations, and that's never been more apparent when you watch people going through arrests or whatever it might be, situations, high stress situations. Some people really don't deal well with stress.
No, I know. I never. We've talked with some of the guys that go on high stress situations. Like, you have different parts of your life and how you measure stress. I handle stress pretty decently. Like, I'm like, my rules is like, am I getting shot at? No. Cool.
We can make this work.
Yeah, like literally, like, it takes a lot to get me to that level where I'm like, oh shit, here I have to react. But then I see other people where it is like,
Small things.
I am getting pulled over for a speeding ticket, and this is
And now I'm
And
a felon.
off to the races.
Now I'm a felon. Like, dude, it's $100 ticket. Just be like, oh, sorry, thanks, see you later.
I freaked out so hard.
20-second interaction. 20-second interaction. You're on to go to your aunt's house to eat baklava, whatever the fuck you're doing. I don't care.
Do we have baklava?
And now you're in jail overnight, and you're a felon because you have zero emotional control. And that's what I always say. It's like there is like being able to have a handle on your emotions and how you let those affect your behavior is basically a superpower. Like that's like if you
That's
can
true.
have a decent handle on your emotions and not letting them affect your outward actions. Like you can think about it, you can feel it, but you're self-aware about how it's making you feel. And before doing that thing you want to do, rationalizing it and thinking about it logically before you act, superpower. You can do anything. in this
Literally.
world. Yeah.
You can do absolutely anything.
You were like, I handle stress pretty well, and I realized like, I've known you for like 3 years now. We're, I think episode 56 was our first pod. We've done hundreds of podcasts together,
Yeah.
2 hours apiece, hundreds of hours of bullshitting, hundreds of hours after the scenes bullshitting, and I've seen Eli run at 2 modes the entire time. Literally, Eli's had 2 moves the entire time I've known him. It's 80% right here, working, or I'm tired, I need to go to bed. Like, that's literally Eli's 2 whole fucking moves.
I met both of them yesterday.
Yesterday, Eli, it's 1:30. Do you want to go to IHOP with me? Ooh, I'm old. I have to go to bed.
Exactly. So literally,
He's like, and Anthony to IHOP at 2 a.m.
I want to sleep.
See, I
actually.
could, but have you slept once before? Like,
Love you guys.
Sleeping's
Love
great.
you guys.
Sleeping's great.
Takes a whole level to get me to that next where it's like anger switch flip or anything. And
That,
it's
it's instant. Like your mood is everything. You know? And alcohol and drugs just change it.
like murder time.
So have we considered suing RFK for trademark infringement with brainworms?
Brainworms, we haven't. I think we should. So the brainworms is going.
Awesome.
So the brainworms like branding. I started years ago. I don't know where. Probably like 2020.
Say, it was
came
like
out.
I knew about it.
I did my first one in 2020 during the pandemic when the world really just ultimately shit the bed on a macro scale. And there was just videos of like all of the most ridiculous encounters of people with masking and all the going on. And I
masking
was
videos are
recording a video
glorious.
live and I was like, this motherfucker has brainworms or something. And then that just became a thing. And here we are, 4
okay.
years later.
Apparently cruise
RFK
control
all of a
didn't kick
sudden
in.
has brainworms. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I would like royalties first of all.
I'm just saying that's rude. Is all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. rude. But no, I actually looked it up afterwards because I was like, that's probably a thing. And I searched brainworms on Google, and it's, I guess, before whatever RFK had, it was a disease that affects deer or something, where it's like a parasite that can affect deer, but it was very niche, basically. And I was like, all right, this is cool. So like, I own the domain. I have a little bit of merch, but I haven't done much with it because I'm lazy and old. But like, there's potential.
It's okay. I got a company. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
Do
you know anyone that makes merch?
No, I don't.
Do you make
I
any
can
merch
probably
at all?
help you. Yeah, we could. No, that brainworm thing though. So it's deer and moose. So like I'm in.
Okay. You know.
Yeah. So like I'm in North Iowa. So there will be like there's no moose in North Iowa, but like once in a while. There will be a fucking moose, and it's like all over the news because there's these brainworms get inside a moose,
And they go crazy?
and they make them migrate south and do crazy shit. That's like the only time a moose will ever make it that far south down to Iowa. Is it's got this brain parasite that makes it fucking
That like
migrate
completely goes
somewhere
against their
it's definitely
instincts,
not
basically.
supposed to
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
There's a parasite that makes moose just straight go for a stroll.
yeah, legit straight south,
Just
the
dip
entire
south. Yeah.
Dude, parasites are horrifying.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
crazy.
moose rabies. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the one that
Nuts.
like makes the crickets jump into the water
Yeah,
because
saw that.
the parasite can only replicate in water.
How nuts is
and
that?
it forces the fucking cricket to drown itself.
Have you ever done any content on parasites?
I have not. It's
Because in
horrifying.
having this conversation, I'm thinking like I've seen little tidbits of like how parasites work, where they like go into the host and like take over the neural function. It's
horrifying.
unbelievably horrifying, but incredibly interesting.
It's wild.
I think that would make a pretty good
Dude, the
Nature is
fucking
terrifying.
Pretty good fat electrician video.
toxoplasmosis horrifies me.
Oh yeah.
Toxoplasmosis, the cat poop
kitty
worms
cat.
that get in your brain. Like,
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
like that's why
and it's very real.
That's why
It is.
pregnant women aren't supposed to be around fucking cats. Is cat poop has a worm in it that can infect humans, and it gets in your fucking brain and makes you like the smell of cat piss. And this is like, they think this is where the crazy cat lady archetype comes from, is like, oh, you have
Yeah, it's
worms in
nuts.
your brain from cats that make you like the smell of cat piss and being surrounded by cats.
Yeah, it's wild.
Now
It's
you
not
own
super
50
common,
fucking
but
cats.
it's nuts.
Okay.
All right, she doesn't have it yet.
Unless you
Sho, do you have extensive knowledge of the?
She's over there with like a
consistent
fucking
scent of
flask.
cat urine? What's in that?
That smells terrible.
New information.
also,
Yeah, Dave's scared. He was like, I love cat piss.
He's like, there's 9 bottles
Females
of
only, or guys get this too?
Tired, I did a double take. I was like, wait.
are you tired or is it brainworms?
Sho's always asking to clean out the litter box. I never can figure it out.
Highlight of my day. That's crisscrossing that brain amoeba that happens down like in the south, like kills a couple people a year.
Oh, it happens all over the country.
That's a
A kid
different
in
one.
Minnesota had it.
There's a bunch of
That's meth.
brain-eating amoebas.
No, there's a real brain
No, there
amoeba.
is.
It's fucking
There is.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Where do you get it? Like water or something?
Like stagnant water, like
Stagnant,
ponds.
yeah.
So like you can
Sounds
go
about
swimming in a pond and it goes
Gets
in
in
through
your
your
ear
nasal
nose.
cavity.
Like
And like it's
nasty
fucking, it's actually really
Terrifying.
fucking scary.
Oh, what's
Because
the
it's
one
like,
that's really
there's like a lot of like
scary?
17-year-old kids that
that's
go to
another
fucking
one.
summer camp. Like, oh, you've got a brain-eating amoeba that we can't cure. Enjoy slowly going mentally disabled until you die over the course of the next
it's
3
nuts.
months.
Huh.
It's fucking
Yeah,
terrifying
nature is
shit.
terrifying.
Wow, yeah, I never heard of that.
Time to stay inside and play video games.
Yeah, stay away
saying.
from the stagnant ponds, I guess. That's
Saying.
fucked up. Yeah.
Dude, it's
That's
this
why-
scary shit.
Not going to India and
Also,
swimming.
That's why I go to the ocean. I'm an ocean guy. Yeah.
Something that'll interest you when you start doing long form, but interest you right now. I think you told me this, and I had no idea. So you can't say the C word on YouTube.
Correct.
Obviously,
I've been banged a bunch of
yeah.
times
So
for
like
that,
you
yeah.
get in trouble. You get.
I
your
said it
video-
on this podcast already. I'm
no,
sorry.
we'll
Censor
bleep-
it out, please.
We'll bleep that out,
Jay.
but that's what reminded me of it. Is like we're gonna have to bleep that out later.
Yeah.
Which it's fine. We'll catch it. It's no big deal. But I think it was Eli that told me that
There's a way around
if
it.
you're Australian or Irish, or you're from a culture where that is not an offensive term and you just casually use it,
In the term of endearment.
you're 100% allowed to say it on YouTube. So like literally we could have Show or Dave come up here as Ireland citizens, not American citizens. They could say it, and allegedly it would be completely monetized, no issue whatsoever.
Sho, if you could just come up here and drop 17 C
No,
bombs.
no, this, oh, dude,
You gotta say it with the accent. They judge.
With Buffalo, you said, right?
Yeah.
We're like, where's our little Irish girl? And she walks up. It's like, say it.
Yeah.
Into the microphone. The crowd's like, oh.
I think you'd get away with it if I just like spoke the entire time on the podcast with an Australian accent. You guys think you'd get away with it?
We can try.
It'll sound like a How Ridiculous episode. How good?
Like, are we gonna risk it? We're still censoring that.
All right, so live show. You
Yeah.
guys got to see the donkey story from our friend Zach.
yeah.
Oh,
How
the
was
donkey
it?
story.
Did you
That
guys
was
like it?
ridiculous.
It is. He is refined that. It is straight up a like S tier comedy bit that he has it refined down to.
Agree.
Yeah,
And,
you
like-
can tell that story just sitting at a desk, just face to face, and it would be insane, and it would be hilarious.
It's-
Seeing that in person, inconsolable.
It's literally his Bert Kreischer the Machine story. It's so good. It's one of those ones where like
Yeah.
you could have heard the story 5 times and you're like, I'm down to hear it again though. Just on the off chance you remember a little tidbit that
Yeah.
you didn't last time I heard it.
So
Especially with you guys reenacting.
that's what it
on
was.
stage.
Oh, my
I was
God.
obviously familiar with the story. Like I'd seen the story when he first did it on the show, and then like it getting a lot of traction on Twitter and whatever else. And so after he did it, because it was early on in the show, he came up and sat next to me and joined me, and I was like, having just saw it, I was like, dude, that was so funny. He was like, oh, dude, really? He's like, oh, I appreciate that. He's like, I have no idea, whatever. I was like, dude, that was like,
Insane.
it felt like that's something you've been doing your whole life. And the physical, adding the physical comedy piece to it with Rich being the donkey and the fucking like the walking and like the hive or whatever you guys are doing.
It's the
I'm
leg,
like, this
the leg
is
kick.
like this is the
backwards
golden
leg
yeah.
kick.
That was
It was a
that's the
golden pocket.
brilliance of alcohol and Nick being like, we should reenact this. By Nashville 1 to Nashville 2, enough drinks had been drunk. It's like, let's reenact it.
So was that like the second or third time that it happened?
Second.
That was the second show.
time we'd ever.
Same
So Zach lives in Nashville, so he was just naturally like he was going to be there regardless.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it, we'll bring it up on street. Tell the donkey story. People love it. They probably heard it, but I mean, it's.
And did you reenact it in Nashville?
Well,
too,
no.
or-
So in Nashville, we did 2 shows back to back.
that's
So
terrible.
Nashville,
Oh,
we're doing
terrible.
that. It was a
Worse.
terrible.
Remember
That
the
was a
second show.
fucking what you call a learning experience. So like we did. So it's like VIP. We meet 75 to 100 people, shake hands, take pictures. Everybody's great. Go do our show. Go backstage. We had like 45 minutes to eat, piss, pretend we weren't shit-faced, and then go back, do VIP again, meet another 75 to 100 people.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, 25 of them were probably at the last show. Like, we had people buying double tickets.
Yeah, just like tour the East Coast with you.
I made sure to run up to them after.
John?
How was the second show? And they're like, the second show was way more aggressive. So we're fucking hammered.
Yeah.
We like literally none of us remember the second show.
Yeah.
At all.
Lazy.
And apparently the second show is when we decided to reenact the donkey part because we told the story twice.
So
that
silver
night.
linings then.
Yeah.
And now you're like, wow, okay.
Good, we're keeping that part
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was ridiculous.
The reason I bring it up is because like everybody, you know, Zach deployed in the military. He's got his donkey story. We all have that one crazy hallmark moment story from
Yeah.
our career. So,
100%.
what's your donkey story?
My donkey story. Okay. Yeah. No, I got a donkey story. I probably have a couple, but I'll give the most recent one.
Good.
So I've almost delivered a baby. I got to the house. We got to the house too late, and she was already delivered. And actually, what's really cool is I actually got to meet the baby a couple years later, which is actually really cool.
That's awesome.
And then I got to deliver a baby, which was actually amazing. Which apparently is in my department is even just insane. Which is just I don't think it's happened. I think I might be one of the first or maybe the second to do it. But I got dispatched, and I actually made a video about this, and it sounded completely ridiculous, and the reason I made a video about it is because it sounded completely ridiculous. I got dispatched to a house. It was in a different town. We got a mutual aid call, and the call was for a 42-year-old male who was apparently attempting to eat mailboxes. Swear to God, eat mailboxes, rusty mailboxes. Eat rusty mailboxes after taking one or several illicit substances. Medics dispatched. All right, so we get to the house.
The funniest part is eating a mailbox is a felony, by the way.
So we pull up to the house.
It
you know?
is.
We pull up to the house.
Eating him out like, that's a legal dog.
We pull up to the house, and there's a guy who's out. Literally, it's got to be the only actual physical standing mailbox in town, and he's got his face on the fucking mailbox. And we get there, and I'm like, buddy, what's going on? They're saying that you're trying to eat mailboxes. And he looks at me with the straightest face, like the absolute deadpan straightest face, and he's like, I'm not trying to eat a mailbox. I'm just licking it. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's way better. Yeah, 100%. This is good. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're just licking mailboxes.
Like,
That's
was
cool.
it winter and it was cold and metal? Or
No,
like,
he was just strong. He was gone. I couldn't even tell you what he took. But yeah, he was just sitting there just licking mailboxes. And I'm like,
The fucking Tootsie Pop owls over there. How many minutes does it take?
I'm like, he's gonna wear right through this thing.
Dude, when we went to the German place and we were walking the history, remember that one guy that was a nurse or doctor? He was telling that one story about the homeless dude or the crazy guy that
Since
ate
you guys
his
told me I
eyeball.
can't go this far, I'm going pretty much.
And then when the guy
Where
was
the
like,
fuck was I? Was I drunk?
did you miss this? Yeah, you were drunk.
I did not
It
actually
was a
didn't do
dude
that.
ate his eyeball, and then Brandon, he's like, yeah, like you wanted to see inside his stomach, like blah.
That's how you do it.
He wanted to
This
see
is just my
that.
GPS should run the
It did not register. Brandon was like, oh, and I was like, Brandon, I don't think
Okay,
you're.
it's
I was
not-
like, he ate his eyeball because he wanted to see inside. He was like, oh my god.
There it is.
I got Bluetooth eyeballs.
And
They
dude,
don't
the
even know.
guy, and he was like, okay, what do you see? He's like, it's dark.
fucking Bluetooth eyeballs. Oh my god.
Where the fuck was I?
Dude, this is at that bar, like across. I was like, what the is this story right now?
It's dark. Forever.
That's about what it looks like. You're not wrong.
Wild, dude. I was like, well, that's crazy right there. He ate his eyeball to see inside his stomach and was asked, what do you see? He's like, it's dark.
You didn't bring a flashlight, dude? What's wrong with you?
You messed up.
Just imagine that. You're like, let me see.
Just swallow the candle.
I see
Is he
it.
mentally
I'm
sick?
going.
smell like
It smells like shit. It's very irony.
I'm just impressed he could still see after he took his eye out.
Yeah, right? It's pretty
There's
impressive.
a lot of light out here. This looks great. It's dark in there, though. A lot of stomach acid. This burns.
There's that candy bar.
I was like, what the
Oh no.
fuck? And watching Brandon like process when I said it was like, he ate his eye to see it. He's like, oh my god, what the?
There, there it is.
Sorry. Where were we?
What about you? What is your like fucking?
No, hold on. I want to finish this story.
But, yeah, so he's sitting there, he's licking mailboxes, and the officers are like, yeah, this is just how we found him. Like, there wasn't even a call. We were driving down the street, and this guy was licking a mailbox, reading a mailbox, and I was just like, okay, well, let's go to the hospital. You know, we gotta take care of him. You know, you don't lose your empathy, you don't lose your sympathy. You know, you make sure you take care of everybody, right?
Sure.
Everybody, every time, right? So we're like, all right, bud. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a trip. We're gonna go to the hospital. He looks at me and he goes, "If you fucking touch me, I'm gonna kill you." And I was like, good.
Well, my empathy's up. See you later.
I'm like, guys, if you could just, you're gonna have to take the ride with us on this one. You're gonna have to take
To the
ride.
cops?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, you're gonna
yeah,
have to take the ride with us on this one. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, nah, just go the fucking. He just goes in the ambulance, sits on the bench like this, real angrily, just sitting like this. I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm
You're the bad guy.
inconveniencing you. Like, what are we doing here? So we end up taking him to the hospital, and he jumps off the stretchers. The hospital we go to all the time, right? So I'm constantly there. They know me by face. They know me by ambulance. They know me by schedule, and I'm just like, all right, we're gonna go. He jumps out the ambulance, runs directly into the ER, smashes face first into the doors that don't open up unless you get buzzed in. I'm just like, I'm not even getting paid for this. Like, I am a volunteer. Like, they need to raise my volunteer salary from nothing to something after this. And it's just like, I'm like, all right,
It's
so
like an IHOP gift card or something.
literally something. Like, give me some love here. All I get is a freaking brand new hat every 2 years. Like, I can't live like this.
You're not a volunteer still, right?
I'm still a volunteer. Yeah, I have a per diem EMS job. My career job is I'm a 911 dispatcher for the police department. That's my career. So I just happen to pick up a per diem EMS job as well. But I've been volunteer since I started EMS.
You're a low-key fucking psychopath.
Yeah,
You're
I was
like,
gonna say-
I'm gonna be an EMT during COVID in 2020.
But
That's
also, I'm
crazy.
gonna volunteer.
Yeah.
and
They've
be
offered him
non-free.
salaries multiple times.
They
He turned it
have.
down.
They
He's
have.
like, no,
Yeah.
I don't get off.
My specific department's offered me a paid department spot. Paid works during the day, volleys work at night, and
You gotta quit social media though.
yeah,
Nah, I'm good.
yeah. That's honestly that's basically what it would have been.
Really?
What it would have amounted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were not what you would call thrilled about it, but the place I record now does not mind. 'Cause they love it. So.
Did you get individuals like Rich being angry cops being in the military still, and then a Buffalo PD is the most ridiculous thing, and you're like, bro, you do not need to be either of those. You
don't
do
need to be
quite
hunting.
fine on the YouTubes.
Yeah. I didn't realize you were a volunteer this entire time.
Yeah, I've never, and I won't. I've told my department many times because your volunteer contract is based on, they sent me to EMT school, so I owe them, right? So I'm basically paying back my EMT school through a certain amount of
You
time.
paid it back.
So I have. So after
First
3
butt thing.
done.
First dude at the range. Good.
Okay.
That amount of PTSD. Debt cleared.
I just imagine him in EMT school, like, so people aren't supposed to shove stuff up their ass, and he's like, bro, I'm gonna be so rich.
This is
That light bulb went off.
somebody write that down. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
That stuff is mine. I called this.
You know what? This is turning into a job interview, actually.
What's funny is
I'll
I'll
tell
get
you
people
what,
who send me videos.
I
They're
will,
like,
me and my friend group, I can guarantee you that I can swing this and make this happen. We'll pay for you to go to paramedic school, finish it out.
I don't know if I would do that.
Then you have to come. You have to move to
many
Texas
times?
or fly in here.
Twice
Just
for the camera.
Twice back to back.
I've done it
That's the
3
hard
times since
part.
I've been sitting.
See, we always call it. It's the back to back. We get the guy. It's a wager.
I told you I could only get so erect.
We'll pay for you to go to paramedic school.
Okay.
You have to come, and your new job is exclusively to be gun tubes paramedic, and you just have to be at all the range days working.
I gotta tell you, that would break my heart if I had to just hang out with you guys all the time.
I'm surrounded by people that
Yeah.
aren't shoving stuff up their ass.
No. To be
Okay.
fair, it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it happens.
You're the first one there.
When it does, I push the other crew out.
He only flies it.
I only
That's
come
it.
But yeah, I told my department, I'm like, I'll stay volley here until I physically cannot do it anymore. I was telling the guys that when I was growing up, my mom, who's, I don't know where she got this phrase from. It's a Muhammad Ali quote, so I have no idea where she would have even gotten it from. She's wasn't by any stretch of the imagination a sports fan or a boxing fan. But above her couch was one of those big fancy signs, like those live, laugh, love signs. This one said, "Service to others is the rent that we pay for our room here on earth." Right, and that was something that just kind of stuck with me. The kids at school, or not the kids, but like the teacher at school asked what your favorite quote is, and I'm like, that was my quote. So when I finally decided that I wanted to do something a little bit bigger than myself, I figured that was the way to do it. And
So it's about the service, not the paycheck, obviously.
100%. Yeah, and it's a really cool.
That's
feeling.
commendable.
It's really
Sometimes
cool.
you
Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people that
A
have that.
lot of times.
Okay, you told that story right at the beginning.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
podcast. Exact same quote.
Yeah.
Exact same everything.
That's
I was like,
exactly how it
cool,
goes.
I get to double check the quote now.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
I
that's-
had it pulled up.
I love it.
I was like, oh, she had 2 Muhammad Ali quotes above the
God, I'm
couch.
glad me and you are on the same, because I was like, oh fuck, I'm either really, really drunk or I
What's
just
in
had
that
a stroke.
I was really worried I got a TBI.
I immediately went to like,
Everyone's looking in horror. You're surrounded by dudes that been
What's
TBI.
what's in this? Man, that's why I stay volley. I definitely don't want.
I told you this was a 100 milligram fucking THC drink, right?
You told me not to eat it.
me, Eli, and the rest of the other, Brandon and Cody, have this perpetual nightmare that any moment we're gonna wake up in a fucking mental institution next to each other and straight jacket, like,
There it is.
shit. Like,
Has all of this been a...
It's all a fever dream.
we did
What's
the
that?
gang episode, and the episode was sponsored by Magic Mind, and we did the Magic Mind shot, and we're like, man, I feel funny, and then we all wake up in the mental institution together.
let's
So
go.
when you told the same story
It ends
back,
like an episode of Lost.
when you told the same story back to back in the same episode, I was like, I immediately went to the Matrix with like the bricked out windows and the cat walking by. I was like, oh fuck, this is it. I'm like,
Agent Smith
oh,
just like
no.
walking on the rainy sidewalk.
Ethan's a 6'4" tall guy in scrubs. It tells me I can't do that anymore. I need to calm down before he injects me with something to make me tired. This is horrible.
Why isn't he always sticking me with stuff?
Show and Dave are nurses. They take care of us. They're just wheeling us around.
I'm just like big gloves, it's like a huge syringes, like...
Fucking King Trout's the warden. That's why he lives upstairs. He's actually just watching us. We think we're letting him live in our house, but actually...
That's what the cameras are for. He's actually just watching you.
Or they're just walking us to different rooms. These are live shows. You're in Boston now. One person every time.
Is this Boston?
Cody's just in a room by himself in the corner. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Nick's just sitting in an opposite room, just. Tell me about the time.
It's just making shit up about World War II, and he really doesn't like Karl Marx.
Yeah. Nick needs the helmet again.
shit.
Nick needs the helmet again. He's smashing the wall.
You guys laugh. I'm still horrified of this being a reality. 2.5 years ago, I was an electrician at work.
There it is. You just got to enjoy the dream before you wake up. That's all.
I guess.
Do it till
Everyone's had that moment where, like, I don't dream a lot. But, like, there's been a handful of times in my life where I've had the sweetest, coolest dream ever. Then you wake up and you're just like, fuck, that was awesome.
That was a good one. Can we play that back?
Motherfucker, I can't believe I wish I could just go back to sleep and go back into that. And that could be what this is, just a very long
Oh, that'd be the worst.
God,
I could think of just waking up and like,
please let this be real.
no. Everyone, like, for the audience members, it is understanding, like, everyone, like, Nick was an electrician. I did from infantry to a lot of manual labor, weird being Mexican, and roofing and everything else. And while doing that, it was like, hey, I'm going to do videos until I didn't know it was, I never thought it was like, oh, this is going to be a career path. In podcasting, I will let you know, just in anyone has this idea, it's like, well, you set out to do podcast. The fuck I did. I was like, I want to do movies, VFX, I want to shoot, I want to write comedy sketches, millions of views, like, and I got that dialed in, and this was a very much a, like,
Afterthought.
This is like the opposite of VFX.
yeah, and then this takes off. I'm
This
like,
is no
what
FX.
the fuck? Why did that one work?
Yeah.
Why? And that, but it is pivoting. It's like, hey, it is working, so let's continue down that path.
Do it,
But
do it again.
everyone
Quick, we
put
gotta
in-
do it again.
Dude, the amount of blood, sweat, and tears you're putting in on the back end while doing the normal job is what people do not.
Appreciate it. Well, yeah.
Well, it's like everyone. It looks like so much fun. Like from Nick to like all you. It's like, oh, they just have fun, dude. Finding out like volunteers, like wild, but it is.
I had no idea.
No,
Volunteers
yeah,
to this day. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I won't. I can't honestly see myself giving it up. It's just something that, aside from the fact that I love the guys in my department, you know, it's a great department. And it just feels good, you know. It's something that just genuinely just makes you feel good, you know. It's a great community.
Yeah, well, that's crazy because life's only about money and success.
Yeah,
and
you
should
know.
never do anything that actually makes
You know,
you
why should
feel
you?
like a human.
You
That's
know,
Thank you, Leon. That's our next shirt.
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah.
It says by Leon.
lyrical words.
Hey, this is morally sound and makes me feel good at a soul level, but it's not making me money. Fuck that.
Flip table, walk out, done. Yeah, it's sometimes you just have
need to
do,
strike the balance.
like, the right thing in your
5%
head. You
do
know?
what's good for your soul.
That's it. Sometimes you just gotta. It keeps me grounded, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, it is wild seeing all of it because on the backside it is that the amount of people who are like, it's too saturated, or I can never go. It is, hey, the level of detail of like, I'm speaking like that. Oh, I am testing different stuff until I see it's work. Hey, this, oh, that worked. Now that is
How
what
do I
I'm
build
going
on
to
that?
do. And that is the key to the success that people miss. It is like, what works? Why did it work? How do I continue and how do I expand on that? And now, success. Also, while doing a 9 to 5 a lot of the time and having a family, and you're like,
I wish I had a 9
I'm
to 5.
always surprised. I spend a lot of time on the internet, as all of you do, and most of you watching, I'm sure, do. And like, my job for what, almost 7-8 years now has been to like be the guy that's like seeing what's going on the internet, make content. So I feel like pretty plugged in, right? As opposed to like my wife, who's just very like ephemeral, like not plugged in. So, but to this day, still, I'll randomly like happen upon this account that has like 24 million subscribers or followers and has this insane audience, and I'm like, the second you think that it's like saturated or there's like, oh, that's already been done, no. Like, so for every new person that is like trying to do something or like find an audience, it is a big fucking world out there.
Yeah.
All you need to do is capture like 0.002% of like your country's population to make it into something that's sustainable.
It's true.
So you just have to like put it into perspective and like think about the scale. And like, I just was doing a video the other week with my wife, and there was like the team put together a clip from this like Russian Instagrammer. It was like really funny videos and they were good, and he had like 23 million followers, and I'm like, dude, I spend my life scouring the internet for content, and I've never knew this motherfucker existed. And he's captured a country worth of people like somewhere on the other side of the world. So all that's to say, there's there's
How
always
they're
going
gonna
to be an audience, like
really be a
whether
super
it's something
game.
you're passionate about or you want to like try, like you just have to try things. Really, is what it comes down.
And
to.
you can get into saturated markets. You can get into
Well,
saturated
yeah,
markets,
it's, I
and
mean,
you'll
it's a
prove
proven
it.
model that works,
Yeah,
right? That's the
obviously
thing. Like,
somebody's watching it, and
Yeah.
if someone will watch you do whatever cooking videos, you know, someone will watch somebody else do cooking videos.
yeah.
It's- you're
Like
it's your
there's been
personality.
people that have done history content
Right.
before, but they weren't fat and abrasive, like
Right.
the fat electrician.
Dude,
yeah.
no, like,
whoa,
the
whoa,
legit
he's
though,
not
like,
abrasive,
the
okay?
amount
I
of
know
other,
he's not
like,
fat. He's handsome and svelte. Yeah,
the
I
amount
take
of
that
other
back. I'm
history
embarrassed
viewers, so
for
like
saying
Stephen and Gabby Stayaku, he's been on the podcast. He's fucking great. Check him out. He's awesome. But like, me and him came up on TikTok at like the same time, and we both do history, but we have very different personalities
Yeah.
and like catch different like vibes from history and tell it a different way. And like the amount of people that'll accuse both ways. Like I've been accused of being a knockoff Stayaku, and he's been accused of being a knockoff fat electrician. And it's like, oh, I bet you guys don't like each other because you're competing. It's like, not
not
at
at
all.
all.
dude.
From the truth.
If
Could
he
not
can,
be.
by all means, tell the exact same story, slightly different in your own style all day. I'm sure some people will love you and hate me, and
Yeah.
vice versa, and it's all gonna work out. Like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, on that
Like,
note, like I'll do it like when you're into like commentary, like what's going on in YouTube stuff over the years I've done it. If there's like a trending thing that happens and it's like obviously all the commentary YouTubers are like jumping to talk about it, and it's the same idea. It's like you don't always have to be the first one. Like certainly you can build a business model around being quick, and that works. Or my business model has always been, I'm just going to talk about this thing in the way that feels good to me. I'm always late. Like I'm like the guy that's like a week after it happens and it's like kind of out of the news cycle, but like I'm just old and that's how I operate. But I always get people in the comments like, oh, I saw this so-and-so's video about it, but I was excited to see your take, right? And that's really what it is. It's like you're just talking about the same thing that everyone knows about. They can watch the news and they can get a take. They just want to see what you have to say about it because they've kind of built a relationship with you for however long, or even if this is their first time seeing a video, that could be an opportunity. That could be like the 0 to 1 moment where they're like, hey, I like the way this guy covered this versus the 3 videos I've already watched about it, and now you have a new person that appreciates your shit. It's like,
that's why I love your content. The amount of times I've heard news and be like, wow, you know what I really need? I need the opinion of a 6 foot tall, blonde haired white guy with blue eyes with a loving wife and family to tell me exactly what I should feel about it.
Do you find that you're
very relatable. I know.
Thank you. I've always wondered what this opinion would be like if it came from somebody more attractive
Yeah,
than
hey
me,
guys,
actually.
buckle up. You're about to learn how you're supposed to feel about this very divided topic.
Do you find that
Just
you're,
last week, his Coney 2012 video. He waved.
Yeah, dude, I've been going on the
forgot that
Facebook
was a
rabbit hole.
thing.
He takes his time.
2012.
You were just now hitting this.
he's working on Nixon right now.
What a poll!
You guys are never gonna really believe this shit that happened in Africa recently. Like a decade ago, but like, listen up.
I thought I was pulling deep with Harambe. You pull out Coney 2012. Holy shit!
I would love you to just drop one next week.
Oh my god.
Hey, here's why I don't trust about.
No, that's almost at the point where it should be a history video. I think, yeah, it's that.
Oh my god.
Fucking awesome.
Do you find that your audience, do you have like diehard like followers that like actually snitch on other creators? Or like, listen, man, I don't know if you know this, but somebody's doing your stuff.
Oh yeah,
I get that a
I'm
lot.
sure.
I
Yeah.
get that all the time in my comments. Hey, look, man. Or like in their video,
Walmart find that one out.
Somebody else,
my God.
somebody else gave the medical advice not to shove a shampoo bottle
Yeah,
up your ass.
100%.
They're
like,
onto your game.
There's videos that people will be like, they'll hold up objects and just be like shaking their head, and the whole comment thread is, yo, this person's stealing your stuff, dude. You need to figure this out.
Dude, well, it was a
If they're not.
fan. We gave him a shout out already, but it was the individual. It was like, hey, did you sell this design at Walmart or whatever? I was like, what? I was like, that's definitely not Walmart.com. That is Walmart.com. Oh my God. Put it in the group. I was like, hey, this. And then you have like everything like, blah, 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 blah. Nick's like, oh, don't. Let me type something out for you guys to tweet. Cody. We have the 11th most followed person on Twitter. Let him say this.
And then we all retweet it.
And then,
We've
Dude.
been trending on Twitter for like 36 hours.
Oh shit.
Like if
Oh,
you
the
go
Walmart shirt?
on Twitter and like
Yeah.
hit search, it's like Walmart accused of allegations of stealing a shirt used for autism charity.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, they wrote news articles.
Yeah, no, like we've been trending for 36
Walmart
hours.
faces allegations over unauthorized T-shirt sales. Several social media users, including notable content creators like Donut Operator and the Fat Electrician,
Never heard of him.
have accused Walmart of selling a T-shirt designed without permission. The design in question was originally used to raise funds for autism research. Oh, Walmart! How dare you?
24 hours. That is what.
Dude, I was on my flight, I think, when I saw this tweet initially. And while the post expressed strong disapproval, there's a mention that the shirt might be sold through a third-party vendor on Walmart's platform, though direct evidence of Walmart's involvement in the design theft is not confirmed.
Don't care. You're making money. It's on your platform.
I'm confirming right now that it's Walmart.
Lawsuit complete. $4.2
Source?
million.
Trust me, bro.
Look,
If you want to sell my stuff,
my
that's crazy.
entire goal.
The actual, it's literally just copy paste.
Yeah, there's not many born to math with crayons and
copy paste.
And like,
and Thomas the Train.
like I sell a lot of merch. Like you can find a ton of bootleg Fat Electrician merch. Or any of our merch, you can find bootleg. But it was like, this is the opportunity that I can bully a blue chip stock company into donating millions of dollars to autism research. I'm gonna fucking try.
That's
When you see something like
we
that,
never took a dime from that shirt. That is 100% goes to us.
yeah.
So that's like not a good look on them. And once it's like, hey, and then it's like,
so does Walmart allow like third-party resellers on their site?
Yeah,
Is that what
I mean,
they're
it's
trying
just
to
like
say?
Amazon.
Like
yeah.
Amazon, right?
So it's like third-party sellers can go on, but Walmart's not like checking for IP and copyright.
Of course not,
And it's
yeah.
like, that's bullshit
But
out of the gate.
it's
You know what I
using
mean?
their web address. Like
Something
Right,
is
yeah,
a
100%. Like, if I let somebody on the Fat Electrician YouTube channel and they went on and said a bunch of like super racist stuff, like I would totally
still
go
on the hook for
liable
kind
for
of
that.
being
Yeah,
that.
like that's
Yeah,
my
it's the
responsibility.
same
It's my you know what I mean? Like, so they should be responsible for that to some degree, and I'm going to try to bully them to make them pay a bunch of money towards autism
I'm waiting
research.
for a statement from Walmart right now.
Yeah, 100%.
And that says a lot about you guys, you know? So it didn't go to you guys, it went to charity. That says a lot about you guys.
Yeah.
What was the total numbers for veterans that we did this year?
we still are waiting. It's like 100. It's over 110,000
Last month for veterans charities for that
Last
shirt we
month.
sold. Yeah.
Yeah, just writing all you beautiful, amazing community.
Salute.
It's fucking great, dude.
We just get to write those massive checks, which is one of the dopest things.
Well, the funniest thing is when because like you're the guy that actually writes the checks and like picks the charities and everything. We're just the idiots that come up with the shirt designs and sell them. But like just hearing you tell the story of like all the charities being like, oh, what do you want in return? And you're like, help, I fucking do your job, and they're just blown away about it. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, and you cannot stress it. It is those phone calls where it is even calling the autism. Charity nonprofits, a lot of y'all get your shit together. You're like, dude, be a level of like, we made 57 million last year. 50 million went towards salaries and marketing.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, what the? So finding those really good ones, whether veteran community and or autistic community.
You have to do the research.
Yeah, but
Do
when
the-
you're
do the
calling them to tell, it's like, hey, I'm gonna donate. And they're like, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. They're like, awesome, fuck yeah. So where do I go? They're like, on the website, and it'll be really easy. It's I'll send you a link, or here, type it in. Yeah, okay. And they're like, what are you thinking? I was like, for you, I think we're doing $50K for you guys. And they're like, oh, holy shit.
Let me put you through to a case manager real quick.
Dude,
Hold on a
it's
second.
instantly you're meeting the owner of the company.
Yeah.
They're calling to like, why? And dude,
Why?
the level of blown away, because that is one thing they could not rationalize is like, we're just doing it with like no ass
strings attached.
I don't need anything back. This isn't about
I don't
me.
want to be on the board. Like, fucking take the money, do your job, we're walking away. We're on to the next thing.
And they're just like, but why?
What's the catch?
The level of, it was mind blowing to see that reaction where everyone was like,
It's honestly kind of scary.
yeah.
No, I would agree with that.
You don't need any.
It shouldn't be a why. That, like the purpose of charity should have no why attached to it.
Yeah.
Like it's like the definition of doing something charitable
it's
is
just-
to do
it's
something
just a good thing
for
to
the
do.
sake of it being a good thing to do without any sort of getting something out of it or ulterior.
No, and you're telling me, I was like, oh man, like our community made this possible. We just want to we sold shirts. All the profits went to this. Now we get to write a check to y'all. And
But
fucking-
I also imagine that kind of speaks to people that they deal with a lot, where it's like, hey, we're going to give you this, but also we need that. Like, there's probably so
Yeah, a
much
little quid pro.
transactional, even in the nonprofit communities, where it's like, yeah,
But I
we
guess
have this
we'll
money,
get
we need
this
to
job
do
done
this,
yet,
but,
and
like,
then
we need you to do
they'll
this
end
for us,
this
which
for
is, I think
this
it
run.
defeats the whole purpose of charitable giving.
Sometimes it's good to just do a good thing, you know. Above my mom's couch.
and then maybe we'll go to some cyberpunk.
Nice.
But, yeah, no, it's
Rolls a 3, my friend. That's a perfect fucking joke, right?
oh man.
I had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, no, like it is. It's like
Ethan was on the couch like,
But I'm like, I know an Alzheimer's specialist in my area. My grandfather was very close with him. Yeah.
that's fucking great. It's important to do important things, right?
the only thing that would have made it better is above my mom's couch was this Mike Tyson quote.
Just like different, just a slight
It's
different.
weird. My mom didn't even like
back.
pigeon, but
Play-
now Kit.
Play it back real quick.
He said it's spinal.
I don't think there's people that like TikTok, and I never could get on board with it, so I don't really get it. So if anyone asks me what I think about it, I just
Obviously,
stick
I'm on a much different. For those of you
Nothing
who
against the
don't
ones
know,
that use it.
I don't know if you can imagine this, but I'm on a moderately smaller level than these guys. And
For now.
and it's for now. And it's It's important to do things like this. The one big thing that I got for a while was like it's impossible to get conversation with me. Like people jump into your DMs. And by the way, if you want to see some unhinged DMs, the Badge 502 DMs full of phallic objects and fucking dick pics is ridiculous.
The amount of times, like,
Would this fit in your ass?
Literally.
I do history. The amount of times I get messages like, "Hey, my uncle has a really cool story. You should cover it." So I can't imagine how many times, bro. My uncle shoved this up his ass.
Oh, that's how I do it through the phone. Okay, I see. I don't even have to type those commands in like I used to.
Where it was just like, okay, so you guys want to be able to get your message to me. I get it. So when I was growing up, I'm not doing the thing yet. When I was growing up, we used to get these cards sent to the house. It was just a really cool thing. We used to hang up cards all over the house, and it was from family and some friends, and it was really neat. And
Like holiday, birthday,
yeah,
and shit?
exactly
Okay,
right. Like
yeah.
holiday, Christmas cards, holiday cards, all those things. And
They had this quote in it.
and what we did was,
Okay,
after a while,
okay,
when the
whatever, I
family
can't
gets
the
older,
smoke
my
with-
mom, she's obviously older, and it just doesn't happen anymore. So I came up with this idea, and I was just like, you know what?
And after this, back to our
I'm just
mission.
getting these cards, I'm just hanging them up all over the house. I'm like, so here's what we're gonna do. You know,
Mom,
for everyone,
Muhammad Ali wrote you a card.
at this point, she'd believe it. But I was like, for everyone who sends us here at Badge 502 a Christmas card, I'm going to make a donation to the food bank that's in the town that I grew up in. I'm like, that just seems like something cool. I think that's a nice thing to do. And I was expecting like 5 or 6 cards, whatever.
Godspeed.
We ended up getting
fucked up.
Yeah, we ended up getting like 400 cards, which isn't insane, but I was able to make a $100 donation to the local food bank. But the mistake was I said, and if you send us a card, I'm going to read them out on live.
Does this rule still
I need to
apply?
figure out the coast to coast
we're doing it.
Where do we?
mod though. It keeps
it?
breaking
I
itself.
mean, we could do that. If you guys want to send Badge 502 a Christmas card, you're absolutely welcome to. Holiday
Christmas
card.
cards in March. Christmas cards in
It's
March.
really not. But technically, we do.
Fuck him over, please.
Yeah, we do it for Christmas, and I do it for this. The last one we did was for Easter, so I ended up doing the donation for the Easter. PO Box 775 in Belleville, New Jersey. If you guys want to send one out, we're gonna make a donation.
One more time.
PO Box 775 in Belleville, New Jersey.
And how much do you donate every time you get one?
So last time it was $1. If it's more, I'll donate more. I have no problem. It's all TikTok money.
Oh, I
don't
can't
care.
wait for you to be home.
I don't care.
I just met you, and I've said this already this podcast, but like, your balls are either enormous or you're fucking retarded.
So I just so happen to have enormous balls and
Both.
Yeah, where's my accent here? So,
Small
oh,
brain.
no, man.
This is too wholesome for the. I feel like
I'm already on the street.
30%
I
of
just
the
forgot my blanket.
audience just like ignited
Oh, I went the
flames.
wrong way.
it's worth it because not to put too fine a point on it. I have my career. I work hard, and I have the money that I need to survive and take care of my family, which is a blessing.
400,000 cards is
Yeah.
my expectation.
So
I
like,
want to see him homeless
I'm
by
not
next year.
gonna lie.
I
If
want to make I want to ruin him.
If I get an unsub level of cards, the
You know what?
dollar level
I'm going
is
to do the
going
legal
to
U-turn. I'll take
I'm not gonna lie. It might turn into a nickel a
You're
card.
still have to reform
This motherfucker's gonna be living in a box.
Yeah, like
and then Zach
I don't
is-
want to have to eat stale bologna sandwiches for 9 months just to survive.
No, fuck you. By the time Unsub gets done with you, you're gonna be living in a
know?
box, and then Zach is gonna come up, cut one of the walls of your house off, and make a sign to hold up above
Vehicle
his
did I
head.
even crash into?
It's like I'm
Nah, oh
happy.
well.
I'm happy to help
That's
out
all right.
those who need the help. But listen, I'm not trying to freaking give. I'm like, I'm over here. It's like I used to have a cushion of $8,900. Now I'm giving blowjobs for sandwiches. Like I'm not trying to do this. Like,
Relatable.
But
Yeah.
I have my career. I have my money. I'm comfortable. TikTok pays me whatever, Instagram pays me whatever, YouTube pays me nothing yet. But
I'm glad you issued that challenge to the
Yeah,
internet
so it's
right
like-
before TikTok's about to get deleted on January 19th.
seriously. But if you guys want to get me to 100,000 on YouTube, I'll make it super worth
Get
it
this
for
man
that.
a silver
I just want
play
to hear the
button.
call from
Give
the
me a-
post office.
give me
It's
a
like,
button.
is this Anthony? Yeah, sir, we're gonna have to shut down your PO box. We have 16 mail trucks.
Yeah, I
over
don't
there.
understand
He's
what's
got an
happening.
affiliate program with
Yeah.
USPS for selling stamps.
Which is funny because on Threads I roast the post office religiously. So it's
Good.
Everyone's like, government.
All 17 people on Threads hate the post office now.
it's 16 now because I just got banned. Probably.
Dude, we're going back to it just real quick. It made me pop in my head because we're gonna have Chris on, or they've been on at this point. We don't know tomorrow, but it is like you have those individuals like COVID. She went from nobody to 70 million subscribers.
If you guys want to get
In
me to
2
70
years.
million subscribers,
To Australia's, because we didn't know that number to that degree. Like Sav, she was the one that's like, holy shit.
Yeah, someone tells me I'm gonna need this line right away.
Oh, cool.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you
So
look, and you're like, holy sh.
I was standing in line and I'm just like, I'm not in line anymore. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna.
To Australia's is watching. You're like, well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Two Australians.
The funny part
I
is
measure my audience in Australia.
the funny part about
I'm like 0.05 Australians right now. I'm working on it. Yeah. I'm like just Sydney. Yeah.
the funny part about Call Me Chris is that she's super cool in person, but
is.
like when we're talking to like vendors and stuff for Range, when Cody and Brandon are talking to vendors and stuff for Range, they're like, oh, the total subscriber count amongst all the influencers that are going to be there is like 150 million subscribers. So it's like, don't ask the breakdown because fucking a third of it's Call Me Chris.
Yeah,
She's
Alright, fuck that
America
up.
walking and big dicking everybody.
Yeah. She walked in and I was like, well, I'm not here anymore.
She's just super
Bye,
sweet.
everybody.
Couldn't happen to a better girl, man.
Like just cutting hair and that happened. You're like, damn.
Yeah. She earned it. You know, she put in the work.
What happened? 2 years.
You know what's really crazy? I imagine after the first 200 million, you stop counting. Like 201
Okay,
million?
yeah.
That's cool.
Or from
Once you go from 8 to 9 figs, that's probably a lot different. Now you're
Okay,
just measured
everything's
by
a little
hundreds of
bit
millions.
Yeah. I remember my first million.
She's funny because she's been to all the Range days, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the first Range day, I don't think she'd ever fired a gun. It was pretty uncomfortable.
there for that. It was
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
And
she
now
was
she's
super
like,
mellow.
put it on the technical.
Yep.
Her and Kayla were just like 2 peas in a pod.
She's like, I'm gonna shoot this, but can I shoot this next? I was like, oh yeah, I'll get after it.
Bro, we were,
whatever you want, Australia.
we had so like when you reach a certain point on YouTube, you get like a rep, like a direct contact with YouTube. Basically, just trying to keep you out of trouble. You know, like at a certain point, you're making YouTube money, and it just behooves everybody involved to be like, hey. Here's
Don't
the
fuck this up.
lines. Try to color inside of them, and if you step out, we'll let you know exactly what you did. So like YouTube does a really good job at
Very helpful.
kind of helping you out. And
Shout out to that team. Yeah.
we had some of our YouTube reps show up today, just hanging out. But they brought out some other YouTube executives, and they were all great. But the higher ranking YouTube executives were like born, bred, raised in California, never shot a gun, never fired a gun, never been around a gun. And I went out there with, our reps are like Army guys. They're kind of like I don't want to say controlled opposition, but like definitely hey, I was in the military, I understand. Here's what's actually safe. Here's what's
They're like
actually
advocates inside the mothership
yeah,
for
like,
us, basically.
Yeah, basically like,
And they're probably
like
just the most welcoming people.
Yeah,
on the
they're
planet.
awesome.
I don't know if you guys don't know this. Gun people are the best people. They are the best people in the world. I've grown up around them. I've worked out. Gun people are the best people.
I know. Look at the World Wars, how they worked out. Anyways, so we get these like high-level YouTube executives. They're like, we've never fired a gun. We're not sure we want to. I was like, I know
Yes, you
exactly
do.
where I'm taking you. Took them straight over to Brandon's boys, and like Brandon's boys are straight autistic. You could give them any gun that's ever been manufactured at any point, and they can tell you, I'm not shitting you, probably the year it was made, the factory it came out of, and what country, like the country of origin, all of it. And I was like, hey,
Ryden loves them.
hook these guys up with the MP40,
Let
which
them
is
live.
the best
Such a
machine gun
fun
on the
gun to
planet.
shoot, dude.
Just
Yeah.
9 mil. It's full
It's
auto,
like
but it's
buttery
like
smooth, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you
It
can
doesn't
pull the
move.
trigger on
You
a
can barely
semi-auto
feel it.
faster. It's
barely feel it.
And like just watching
typewriter.
them go. Okay, what do I have to do? Okay, well put the buttstock in your shoulder. Hold the gun like this. Don't put your finger where the bolt reciprocates. Okay, and then just pull the trigger and and then they just fucking mag dump and like this is a lot of fun. And I was like, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got it.
We understand each other. It really is just the best fun. Like I've shot guns thousands of times. I've never shot full auto. You know, so I walked in and I.
Classic New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know, New Jersey loves gun owners. They love us.
You have a lot of freedoms.
All the freedoms. In fact, now they let us have them, which is but yeah, it's like you go there and I'm like, yeah, listen, I've never shot full auto, and listen, I spent time with these guys. It was the guys from over, was it Denver?
Denver Bullets.
Denver Bullets.
Yeah.
Hanging out with these guys, and they're like, hey, I remember you from yesterday. Step in. Have you ever shot full auto? No, I've never shot full auto. Okay, check this out. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it like this, and you just go through the motions.
What'd you shoot?
Oh, I shot everything. I shot that entire table.
What was the funnest?
So I'd probably say the most fun was probably the Vector, only because I genuinely just always wanted to rip one.
They shoot kind of quick.
They shoot real fast. The second you pull the trigger, that mag is empty, and it's not
Cyclic rate is, again, when you say cyclic break, it makes a huge difference on like also being manageable, like MP40 and everything. Super low cyclic
low
break. You have
cyclic
your like even your Tommy guns are about like 600 to maybe 800 max, but it's like dum 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 dum. So you can walk it.
You can
in.
walk it out.
Then you hit like 1,800 rounds per minute cyclic break, and it is
It's walking you.
yeah, same round 45. It's like.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, he's like, you got to get behind this one. I was like, all right, no problem. He's like, no, more behind it. I'm like, what?
A little bit of lean.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, and I'm like deep into my lean. Like, I'm like in it. And
45 down.
I'm like,
The gun was holding him out.
it screwed me up. I was thinking forward. I was like, oh, okay, so we're just standing up now. Okay,
get
that's
it.
cool. We're gonna just do that. It's
Shout
fine.
out to the Denver Bullets guy too, because I shot some really fun guns at that station today too. And there was a bunch of people. You could tell like there's obviously like a lot of different skill levels. People that are super familiar with these weapons, and people that are like kind of getting it for the first time. So it's really fun to see all of that come to fruition. But the guy who was running the show there, I don't know his name, but you get some of the newer people like they get a full auto in their hand.
Mr. John Denver Bullets.
Mr. John Denver Bullets.
I think that was his name.
You'd have like there'd be like a person, and people were like, you have a full auto, you have an automatic machine gun in your hand. They're just like, you got the point. He's like, these are machine guns. We don't burst fire. He's like, you dump these mags, you shoot it like a machine gun.
Oh,
I was
was
like,
almost a crash I didn't need.
He's like,
Thanks, semi
he looked
truck.
at me and
He's
he
like,
goes,
lean into it and shoot the whole mag. I was like, okay.
yeah, I creeped a couple on my first one. But he's like, oh, cool. I thought you were like a man yesterday. Turns out this is how you do this. I was like, gotcha.
They were called out each other.
The funny thing is with like all the people that have like
So hard to see the
never
actual
shot a
TV
gun before,
screen
and then they're
because
showing up
it's
to range day with
brightness
like
in
literally
the house.
every rare gun from Brandon's collection from World War II to like miniguns mounted on Teslas and shit. And it's
244
like,
miles to go,
you
people.
guys are going from like 0 to 100.
Yeah, what
you don't
do you do?
fully like you've never played
Kind
football
of
and
forgot to
now
make
you're
another cup
starting
of
in the
coffee.
Super Bowl. Like, is what this amounts to.
Pretty much.
And like they don't really grasp it. And when one of the YouTube reps, she like mag dumped. And she like, oh my god, that was a lot of fun. I go, yeah, it was like $30 in ammo. And she
easily.
like starts laughing. You're really funny. I go, that wasn't a joke.
No, you're not joking.
That minigun, like it is like, oh, burn 150 rounds to the second. Okay, that is $300. And you're like,
Yeah,
Also, it's illegal to do that in your state.
yeah, I was walking by the
You know, I really need to get
following
around to buy another
when you
driver.
First walk in, and you just hear that. You're like,
The minigun is
I'm like,
obnoxious.
did an 810 just fly by? Like, what the hell was that?
It
I
is
was like,
bad.
yeah, it's the minigun on the other side. I was like,
The minigun going off is like I can take my
Weird
I can,
bass rumble, dude. Yeah.
I can take my ear pro out and have a conversation 50 yards away from the firing line now, and the minigun goes off. I'm like, fuck.
yeah, I messed up. I should have not done that.
watching, we fired those blanks and then we tried to fire them. So we have the handheld one. We Holes, you have a backpack, yeah. So we have videos of us shooting blanks. Blanks don't have that recoil.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's still like, wait, she's like, "Bah!" And it is like, just, you just stand on a pile. And then when we were trying to do we tried 7.62 variant of a minigun, like handheld. And I have videos of us trying this.
Just launch yourself across the world.
No, dude, it is more. Guns go like this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Miniguns go downwards and right. So we're like, okay, everyone right.
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
then people are lining up here.
Everyone on the
I was
left.
like, actually, behind me. And it was like, and we'd stop right here. It was like immediately.
It's just down.
But it was still like instantly 30 rounds of.
In one touch.
Yeah.
It's
And then like the recoil, though, was like, oh yeah, we can't hold cake. We cannot do full auto recoil on that.
Micah. Like, I think my favorite, like, short or clip of him. Have you seen the video when they were doing...
A6?
No, not 8.6. It was the new SIG squad automatic firing weapon. Was that not the
walking
M16?
one,
The walking
the
one.
new
They had
new LMG, and this is 338, and not Lupula, but 338 Norma. This is a very large.
I don't even know what that is.
This is a little smaller than this. There. Wow. Big ass bullet. Like 338 Norma is goddamn terrifying. But
this, I mean, the entire concept behind this machine gun was like, the enemy's probably wearing body armor, but we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole concept. But like, there's this video of, I'm assuming, some SF guy or something that Grant Thumb was able to get a hold of. And I mean, this dude looks like
Come on, blue car.
refrigerator
Before I
with
catch
ears.
this of me. Come on,
Just
dude.
a fucking unit of a man wearing body armor, and it's like, you know, somebody's huge when like they're wearing body armor.
Okay,
and
apparently my
they're
cruise control's
body
locked
armor.
in
So it's
unless
like,
I-
you're fucking body armored. It looks thin.
I can see your pecs through the plates, bro.
Can somebody give this guy a suit of armor?
Literally, the body armor's for my heart. I have a heart plate, not a chest plate. Like,
he's like a bra.
but
It's three sewn together.
Micah,
A string bikini with the fucking armor.
like, I love Micah, but like, he definitely kind of looks like a hipster, you know, like not a like intimidating dude in persona, but like, he's a bigger guy. Like, he's taller than me, and he's probably just as broad. Like, he's a big dude, and he's like firing and trying to walk forward while firing, and he can't do it. And he's like, "Give me another try! Give me another try!"
How much
And he
of
tries
this
to-
is
he's
actually...
like,
No,
I
I didn't want
physically can't
to...
step forward while
How do I
firing this
clip
machine
things?
gun. And this
There we go.
army dude is
like
like, give me
something
that
out of
fucking
Fallout.
shit. Just marching with this machine gun.
I really need to
handcuffing
get
is
one
fucking
that brings me over
horrifying.
here. Even though I'm... Because the other thing is
very
missing
large
some
rounds,
things.
and to watch that dude like walk forward and
Walking,
shoot
that's
it,
insane.
you're like,
Like,
Cool.
like,
I have to figure out the coast to coast mob though.
Shoulder mount. Okay.
Oh my
But you're
god.
just like, okay, normal shoulder.
yeah, not like hip fire, like shoulder mounted,
Just walking into it.
aiming
Yeah.
and firing. Is like, that dude is fucking horrifying.
Jesus.
Ugh. It's my
that is-
favorite clip of
that
my
is a
guy.
lot of hate being thrown down that range.
Good.
So much.
I wonder how the computer is doing this.
Thinking
Was it
about it.
magazines or was it?
This is a drum. This is
Drum, yeah.
again. I cannot
So
like.
it's an LMG, so it's got how many rounds? Like
Fucking 100 round belts, yeah.
100 around belt. That's just heavy. Like,
Size.
huge. Yeah.
Like that. This. Oh yeah, that's the 8.6. Like that's a big boy round, and that's tiny
Yeah, that'll
compared
ruin
to
your
a
day.
338.
Once the game gets brighter,
we
when I
got
get
shoulder
started
mounted
to, I'll be able to see where I'm
50
going
cal
better.
and sent around, and I was like, boof, and I did that at the range that I worked at, so I'm like, I kind of know what to expect. And then, doof, you know, it goes off, and you're like, yeah, you know, it feels good. I can't imagine freaking trying to walk with it. Are you kidding me?
Well, one is fine. Multiple
Yeah.
back to back to back to back. It's like,
What
all
kind,
right.
what kind of rate does this thing have? It's like,
Kind of like exponentially builds on itself.
I mean, it's for suppressing fire. It's got enough of a rate to convince people to stay the fuck down. So,
Yeah.
it's got enough to make standing up just a general bad idea.
yeah, I mean, it's
You probably
horrifying.
don't want to do that.
Who made the gun? You said?
It was
Insane.
the new SIG because
SIG gun.
SIG basically got all the contracts to
Got it.
do the new Army pistols, the new rifle, and the new LMG, the light machine gun.
Yeah.
So this is what was supposed to replace the SAW.
Okay.
So the SAW shoots 5.56, the normal like AR-15 M4 round,
Yep.
and the bigger rounds they're moving to are basically designed for near peer combat. Essentially, they're planning to fight enemies that have body armor.
Yeah.
Is more or less the gist of it. So I mean, it was impressive to. I mean, it would be rough to walk forward while aiming with a saw. I can't imagine doing it with the new fucking LMG caliber.
I think
That's nuts. Like that's an insane amount of power. And it's an insane amount of power to be the person trying to walk it. Like, yeah,
Traveling through the mountains, even though I have no idea where I actually am right now.
bullets. This guy, just know this.
Trying to save my lane.
Having a subsonic AP round is the most ridiculous thing I've ever.
I
heard.
love it.
Is that what that is?
I really need to earn more money
Doing
and
a
recruit another
subsonic
driver and
AP
another
round.
truck.
That means it's traveling. Usually, when you hear five
Eventually.
sevens, you can go through body armor. It is because it is reaching supersonic speed at like 2,700 feet per second, and you're like, okay, it's cooking. They're like, no, we found a way around it, and it's slow, quiet.
Kevin's
and
such a psychopath.
Bro, that
it'll
dude
pierce
is.
Micah's bra.
Killing people with body armor is cool, but if
Sorry,
you
dude,
try to
come
do it
behind me.
quietly,
I did not have my full brakes ready to be engaged at that moment.
Oh, like Dave gets
You-
it. 'Cause
so, like-
Dave's like, that's subsonic AP rounds. What?
Dave, have you ever been broken down how 6.8 blackout works?
8.6.
8.6, sorry. Have you ever been told that?
I'm just trying to think, was there another round other than that one Russian round, like SP5, SP6, that was like subsonic armor penetrating?
They've never had.
No, it's never had it. Q invented it. So like that round.
Yeah. That's not the AP round. But
So
it's-
this is the bullet. What it does on impact.
It looks destructive.
Yeah. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Come on, traffic car.
Might, in the long run, be an issue.
So like Kevin Q, his guys are out there like hunting big like water buffaloes and shit with a subsonic round, which is insane.
Side note for the pepper box.
Tap,
people.
tap, and then see you later. Like, just,
No, tap.
just one tap.
Oh, here, this is for pepper box. Hey, people that are on the YouTube on the pepper box, you get some really cool stuff on the pepper box side. Like we're working with Q now, and they're giving us every quarter to give away a boombox and whatever Q weapon we want for the pepper box stuff. They're like, as long as you're a member, you just entered for a free Q gun, which they're not cheap, by the way.
thank you.
I talked with Jake,
thank you in
and
advance.
I don't know that this is 100% sure yet, but I think the concept that we're going
I really
with
want to
for
get
how
my
we're
CD
giving
on
away
in
the
real
guns
life
is
so I can just
you
drive the truck.
automatically get
I look too
one
much fun for
entry
this. I mean, I
if you're a
know
Pepper Box member,
everything bad that
but
can
for
happen
every month
and
that
whatnot,
you're
but it would be kind of
consecutively a
fun.
Pepper Box member, you get an additional entry.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like
that's
if we
fucking
if we
dope.
do this for 2 years and you've been here since the beginning, you automatically get
found
24
it.
entries.
Kinda came
So
out
like,
of
it's
nowhere.
kind of an incentive to just like stick around, hang out. You're gonna get more entries to win.
Oh,
these
I'm really
guns, and
speeding
it's
now.
Awesome.
I actually
I didn't know it went down. I need to
11
back myself down here.
I've been part of Pepper Box since 2010.
Or across this bridge.
The crazy part with a Q gun, if you paid for Pepper Box for 11 years and you won a Q gun, you'd still come out net positive.
On the subscription to Pepper
Yeah,
Box.
yeah, yeah.
Not a,
That's
cheap. They're not cheap.
Not an exaggeration.
No,
They're worth it though.
They're so fucking good. And like Kevin himself, he had such a good time. And he's like, dude, what do we got? And he's like, here, we'll do this. I was like, oh, okay, homie. I was like, look, love you, but
Yeah, she's
It's wild.
like
That's
trying to
good.
bitch here.
Expensive. It's
That's
we're
okay.
starting at $4,400.
The Atlanta airport.
Yeah,
Whatever you do
baseball.
forward, if you're going to
Atlanta
try to get
airport
between me and the guy ahead
I
of
was
me, I
like, okay,
advise you
this is
don't.
definitely a
That's a
simulation.
terrifying airport.
We were at
That's
the
huge.
we were at the Atlanta airport, like hungover.
Did you take the
from the
train?
show? We were
Vancouver,
flying from Atlanta to
BC.
Boston, and we got through security. Like we've had
Ah, I
issues with
hated
security
that
the
the
entire
truck
time. 'cause,
turns
like
off
Brandon's
because of
getting pulled. Brandon's getting pulled to the side because he's got too much metal in his bag because of all the fucking
metals.
war medals
Yeah.
people are giving
Classic
him. Like
Brandon.
I'm getting in trouble because I can't raise my arm above my head for the scanner because I had surgery. Like it's a fucking nightmare. Eli's got gigantic toys that are berserker collectibles and he's not letting security open them because
okay, so that doesn't
ruin
open
the
my map
resale
now?
value. Like horrible
Okay,
shit.
that's
Like,
cool.
That is a
Thanks.
good-
That means I control the positions.
Dude,
That's
they were
okay.
like pass it through and like, okay. Okay, sir, we're gonna cut that. I was like, the f you are. I was like, no.
So if I'm going upwards
Yeah,
towards
I'm just
Vancouver,
saying, I don't think
Well,
so.
what
Just
are,
slap
how
the
are we
hand.
supposed to scan it? Through the fucking X-ray machine.
Yeah.
They're like, sir, we're cutting in as like, then you're giving me a lot of fucking money if you're cutting that. You're not cutting that. What do you
Interesting.
mean? I was like, that devalues that immediately, sir. I was like,
Do not cut the tape. Do not look at the tape. Touch
dude,
nothing.
it was in the whole day. But go on.
So like we're just like we get through that and we're sitting
Sorry,
at the bar waiting for our flight.
I'm
to,
trying to
show
do
up 'cause
multiple
everything's
things at
kinda
once,
delayed
and the
'cause
guy
it
in
was,
front of me
like,
can't make
snowing
his fucking
on
mind.
the East Coast at that point in time.
Sorry, boss.
And we're sitting there, we're like, we're drinking, And we're like,
Story of our lives.
I remember looking at somebody
really have
walking
to
by, and I
include
was
that
like, man, that guy looks like Kevin. And they're like, yeah, that guy does look like Kevin. He's like, that guy's wearing an Aim Point shirt.
We're almost
Oh
to my
shit, that's
destination.
Kevin. Like, we just ran into Kevin from Q in the airport randomly.
In
and I was
Baltimore,
like,
randomly?
in Atlanta.
Oh,
And
no, that's what I meant. Baltimore, yeah.
he was
Yeah.
on our
Yeah.
same flight.
To Boston.
And we were all sitting next to each other on the flight, drinking the entire time. I was like, "There's no way this is."
Yeah, I was
a
gonna say, that does
simulation.
not
Just came in from Africa. He literally just landed in Africa.
And also happened to have
looking at
seats
each
next to
other.
you guys as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, 100%. We were all.
Row 17, A, B, and C.
Dude, Nick walks around the cop angry.
I wonder
stands up.
if
He's
light
"Oh
breaks
my
that do I have my
God, are you
controller,
the
that's supposed to be like
electrician?
engine brake.
You are.
Yeah,
Guys.
it was super funny until two random people from the plane asked for pictures.
Yeah.
My favorite one. I sit next to Nick. and
Okay,
he
I
goes,
got a red
"Can
turn
I
coming
get a
up.
picture?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes like, he aims. I was like, "Yeah."
Make
they
sure
love
it's
it
going
when you
up the down
just
ramp.
take a picture of them.
Hoping not.
I unbuckled my belt to like stand up and get a picture with him. He was like, "No, no."
Oh,
I just
nah, you
wanted
can
a
all know
picture
where to
of you."
go,
I
guy.
was like, "That's
Sorry,
fine."
dude.
Did you,
Could you take your
I don't have my brakes on. Fuck.
Just sitting there laughing.
Hey, fucking controller.
Picture with
Ah.
It looks way better to your friends when you say, "I met them."
I'm not going all the way.
And then, like, on a plane, he's just like, thanks, man. It was send this to my friend.
It was nice.
sitting in
It was good that he unbuckled his belt, but he unzipped his fly, so it was just a little strange.
Nick was
I can-
like the guy wanted this.
So I was like the primary push, I think, to get business class for the flights, and I can tell you the exact moment I did it, because like Brandon and Cody refused to board a plane until they're like paging you, like until they're saying
Oh,
your
of
fucking
course.
name over the
Fucking Jeep.
loudspeakers. They're not leaving the bar.
Last boarding call.
Yeah, like
please,
legit,
like,
100%. That's those two to a T. And I'm just like, I'm
They're at the
along
bar
for the
drinking
fucking
Cosmos.
ride. You know what I mean? So we're drinking, and so by the time we were flying Southwest on our first tour, and like Southwest, there's no seating assignments, right? So we're the last ones to board, and it's a sold out flight. So there's 4 seats left for the 4 fucking hosts. And it's me, Brandon, Cody, and Eli. 3 normal-sized humans. Me in a sleeveless shirt with a lot of body hair going on, 250 fucking pounds, and I'm the first one in line. And every seat available is obviously the middle seat, you know?
Of course.
And I just...
Nightmare.
I scan and I pick the one with the 2 smallest women, just to
fat
have the
ladies.
most. Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I sit in between you?" And they're like really nice. Oh,
She's
yeah,
like, "I'll
sure,
move
possibly. And Cody, very loudly, that the whole plane could hear it, goes, "Ha ha! You gotta sit next to the fat fuck."
Oh, Cody, you are just the height of too muchery. Oh my God.
That's when I sat next to Stem the Steer.
Oh no, that was also terrible.
There we go. I got back going the right direction now.
I managed to sit next to.
Or maybe I'll go get my
like,
other
the
truck
veteran
out and we'll go
heroes that
kind of
never
venture around a little
done
bit.
Anything, but
I don't know yet.
they have the leather
They
shirt
got the
on.
stories, though.
I'm sitting
fuck's sake.
on the right side of the plane in between 2 smaller women, and he is 1 row back on the left side of the plane in between 2
war heroes.
large men that are well past their prime, no offense. And Eli, I'm like overhearing this conversation because they're having it volume 10 for
And
no fucking reason.
These 2, and then the guy across the seat.
I got to sit there and I'm like looking over the plane like this there's a 45-minute flight. I was like this for 37 minutes of it. Laughing my ass off as Eli's
Oh, I
got
gotta
his
go all
hood
the way
up
down
and
there
his
to do the
earphones
U-turn.
on, and there's 3 dudes having a very vivid conversation of how they know how they know how to gut a man alive with a fucking pocket knife and a fishing lure. And
How
Eli,
many times did the Marines tell him? Teach him?
I don't even know. He knows how
I
to
mean, that means I'm going to pass
He
out
knows how to
tonight.
cut a
I know
man
that's
from
okay.
stem to stern with a pocket knife, and I know how to fuck. This dude's got a beer gun
16
bigger than
different
me.
ways. And he stood up with his leather vest cut off sleeveless. It's like,
Eli's sitting over here.
Come on,
in
give me my
between
turn.
Just like, oh my god,
I
with a
would've
purple
been-
heart, somebody that's been shot in a fight.
I would have been inconsolable.
I'm dying.
Oh my God.
I want to commit war crimes right now.
It's never a war crime the first time.
I was just, dude, the stem to steer, I was like,
Well, that's going to be coming right back down to this gas station once I'm done.
I see this. I was just like, I hate my fucking life right now. Like, why? Next to me?
Who'd have thought the day would have ended like this?
You get to the point you've heard the story 4 times, and then you're like, can you tell me about that time that you cut someone with a fishing knife spinning a steer? Oh, I'd love to. And then he goes back into the story again, like, oh.
So there's Muhammad Ali.
It says I'm gonna get some of these little visitation point things or two.
Punch me in the face.
In fact, I gotta go all the way
Come
down.
on, why don't you just go ahead and bring that picture?
I mean, I could be the
Let's
asshole and just
see.
cut through here. Probably would work, honestly.
Yeah, you let me know. We'll hang it up. But
I'm happy.
Honestly, actually,
we've been
kind
at
of
it for
could.
2 hours. We also have a range
it?
day party after party to attend.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we better
Is that
go
today?
get to that. Oh, it's
Come on,
right
breaks.
now. We got to drink even more. So fucking
God.
buckle
I'm cheating.
up. But thank you for coming to the Unsubscribed podcast. I've been joined here today by my co-host, Mr. Eli Double Tap, our old friend, Mr. Leon Lush, our newest friend, Mr. Anthony, aka EMT Badge 502, on all of the social medias, or Badge 502 on everything except for Instagram because I'm really good at
Instagram hates me.
remembering. Also, his mom has this Muhammad Ali picture.
What am I getting stuck
And I
on?
am Nick, the Fat Electrician. Thank you so much for coming to Unsubscribe. I will see you guys
Where's-
later. Quack bang out.
Fuck you.
Take this wide because I got to turn here.
Me and the Acolyte, some of the best cinema I've seen.
I love it. Just keep. It's at like 12% right now. It's fucking.
I think it's finally over.
Yeah, it just ended. And
Yeah.
That sounds
yeah.
seems
Did you
like I need
watch
to go
any
this
of
way
it?
then.
No, God no.
Yeah,
Just
I didn't
on Twitter. The shit that posts up on Twitter is the only thing, and I've
And
never
a critical
been,
drinker.
Yes. Oh, dude, I love his. And I never watched his stuff before that.
Oh, really?
No. Him and Nerdrotic.
He's funny as shit. I like his stuff.
Oh,
How do you f that up?
with $170 million, I have no fucking clue.
It's like starving to death at a buffet. It doesn't make any sense. How do you fuck up Star Wars? You got
Really
space
getting to knock on
samurais
let me into
and
the
dudes
side.
that can't shoot. How do you fuck
Really?
that up? That's the
There's
whole
like
movie.
800 books that are written that the community is basically like, yeah, those are pretty good. It's like, just do any one of those.
Yeah, right. Just literally copy paste it to cinema. You will win. Instead, it's like, no, we're changing it all up.
What if they decanonized it and then did their own thing, but, you know, put a chick in it and made her gay and lame?
Let's headbutt license.
What if we made this?
chicken and make her fucking gay?
What if we made this more digestible for the people that aren't gonna watch it and already don't like it?
Let's headbutt lightsabers. Let's cut our hair with lightsabers. Let's force choke somebody for the first time ever. It is really bad.
Oh, and lesbian space witches
Yeah.
that can basically make the Skywalker saga not matter at all.
At all.
Hold on. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched since The Mandalorian. Is there actually lesbian space witches?
I'm dead fucking serious.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. They miraculously concepted the two twins. So now that Anakin doesn't matter anymore. They're like, nope.
Reality is getting so wild that the industry is just going to start making about a loving husband and wife going home after a date night and having sex.
That's gotta be a
Because that's
thing.
what's going to be more unrealistic.
I like how I'm in
at
reverse.
this
I'm just going
point.
forwards. Like, why can't I go?
Oh, I hate it so much.
It's just the basic dialogue. It's like, honey, I had some wine tonight. I had some wine too. Would you like to have sex? Yes, I would. And people are like, oh shit.
Let's make a
Yo.
baby.
What?
Let's get it over. Timmy's got a soccer game in the morning.
Okay, honey.
It's 15 minutes of missionary light kissing.
15 minutes.
Oh, sorry. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh no.
It got really bad, but now it's over.
Okay, let's try to get a
$170
part.
gone, and I don't think they're
170 million?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
The $170 million. If you watch the last fight sequence, it is abhorrent because they just didn't. One of the Jedi dudes does the Matrix kick. He does the like part of it, and they're using really bad wiring though.
Dude,
so
again,
it looks
turn my
real
truck off.
trashy.
I just hate that, like, so the actor. This is what I really hate. The actor who's
Mission
in
is
Squid Game,
done.
that's also an acolyte.
Yep.
Apparently learned English for the fucking role.
Oh, that wasn't enough for me to
And
get there.
oh yeah,
He has
Damn it all.
he has a. He,
that's what I
crazy.
read, but it's like, dude, he loves
Nah,
Star Wars so much, so he wanted to
we
be a
need to
part of
earn
it.
ranks, so I mean,
And
that's
they
okay.
cast him in this garbage.
That's sad.
What
You
job
got
is like
collateral
right
on
next
something
to
that
me?
was
Out
not
of
your fault.
curious.
That's why you gotta have respect
Yes.
for like Henry Cavill though, like ditching The Witcher because they're fucking ruining it, and he's like, I'm not partaking.
I
in
thought you
this.
meant learning English.
No,
So like for where I am.
No,
So
I
he'd
just
be
meant
the best
actors,
one.
like acting and stuff they really
But that
care
is
about.
long.
He's like,
Yeah.
you guys are ruining this. I fucking quit.
Didn't they
Lightest.
just like
Well,
cancel
technically
half
the
of all the
Cardinal
Witcher
is
shit
lightest.
that they were
I've
doing
never
on
done
Netflix?
Cars.
Season 3 tanked,
Well,
and
that's
that's
all
when
the way down
Henry
forward
Cavill
then.
after reading it, he was like,
I'm not
no,
making
this
it
is
there in
like
an hour.
nothing Geralt would do. This isn't following the books
Okay.
at all.
No, quick jobs,
Fucking
just have
what
these,
are
huh?
we doing? And then he's
Yeah.
just sexist piece of shit, whatever it
Okay.
is. And then he's like, well, I'm not going to be in the next season.
Basically.
And I
Okay.
think they
Let's look
canceled.
at my map.
I think they canceled. Who was it? Which of the Hemsworth brothers? Liam.
I'm not
was
way up
supposed
here,
to
right?
be the
Yeah.
next Witcher, and they might have.
Which realistically, I
canceled
actually
that.
think I have a
cut
grab
it
somewhere around
short.
here.
I think they were gonna like, we'll do it for 7 seasons. They're like, how about one?
more.
I'm so mad they didn't continue the
No, here's
Punisher
one of them.
series.
I think.
It was so good.
Well, dude, they needed the budget for the acolyte.
Fucking Jesus.
Why did they? It was,
Okay, well, let's go
I
find out
forget
what
why
the
they canceled
quick
it.
Because it was
travel-
originally
quick
Because
travel
it got-
things
that
about.
was when it was Netflix, and it got bought out by Disney for all of the Marvel shit. And Disney's like, this is incredibly successful.
Gotcha.
Everybody loves it. Let's stop.
Where is that? Fucking
Let's have lesbian space women.
No, they need a female Punisher now, who's black and crippled
Olympia.
and blind. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, which ones are
Dude,
which ones are my
it's-
own ones then?
It's like that
Is
fucking
it the gray ones that are the own ones?
It's like that meme of the black guy in the wheelchair with the Flash.
When they say Flash is disabled on your iPhone.
That's the one. Oh god.
Nick,
So it
what's your
doesn't
next
tell
video?
me
You got
my-
like Band of Beavers
Comes
the last
out.
one.
Okay, so that's grass for
those-
sale.
Well, I did my
Okay.
cocaine hippos, but those fat files.
Okay.
I got a video coming out.
Let's just
tomorrow.
close it back up.
I didn't even watch the
So
fucking-
that
It'll
means
be
the
up
gray
tonight
one
on
I own.
Pepperbox.
What is it?
It's
Which is
about
over
Operation Plum
here.
Which one was that?
Go on.
So Operation Plum Bob was in
I wish I
1957.
could just
The
like
United States government
teleport to it.
decided to just
Okay, so
fuck it. We ball in the desert with nuclear bombs, just straight up dicking
Oh,
around like
that's
they were
right.
ready
okay,
to
so
hit fireworks.
teleport to Seattle.
Like,
Why can't my tax money go to that?
No.
bro, it was unhinged. The
Should
shit
I
they
just
did.
like swap
Okay,
in the
so like they're
vehicle
just
sit?
blowing
Is
up
that
nukes in
possible?
the desert, right? Just nuking shit in the. They're like, give me 1,200 pigs. Cover half of them in burlap. I want to see if burlap stops radiation. And just
This is
blowing
the one that
pigs
has
up for no fucking like.
So this is the one that this
Hey,
truck's
burlap.
open.
It wasn't burlap. They're like testing different materials and like they're like, oh, we want to know if buildings stop nuclear bombs.
I want to know if you
Right.
sit inside of a. I want to know if you're inside a refrigerator, if you'll survive a nuclear explosion.
So shit like that. And then finally, this is also 1957, right? Like 45, the world found out about nukes. Then 49, a bunch of American communist sympathizing scientists
Drive
gave the
you,
technology
huh?
to the USSR. They got nukes, right? So by 57, everybody knows what nukes
I
are.
also need
That's
to go
where they
get
have like
this
the
thing
black
fixed.
and
There we
white
go.
educational videos. There's that
We'll
little
take her up the
fucking
street.
cartoon turtle telling the kids,
Duck and
remember
cover.
kids?
I'm just gonna try
when
to
you
speeding
see the
tickets for the
flash
moment.
duck and
We'll get her up the
cover,
street, we'll get
you
the
know,
truck fixed.
Telling kids that hiding underneath the fucking school
And
desk
then
is
that's
going to
gonna
save them
end
from a nuke.
my
It's
thing for a
fine,
little bit.
right?
Boys.
Exactly. Like it's what Fallout's based
No.
off of. Is this era, the atomic age, and
Uh,
they fucking.
here we go.
So everybody knows about it, and they're like, okay, well, you guys are just detonating nukes out. Maybe it's not a good idea to put, a fuck ton of radiation in the atmosphere. And the government's like, nah, it's fine. We have
Let's
no,
get here.
we have no
Oh, I'm down
evidence to
here now.
prove that it would hurt
That's
anybody.
fine.
It's like, well, yeah, you're also not looking for evidence,
Why
dickhead.
can I
Like,
fix the vehicle?
so they're like, no, it's fine. Watch this. Give me 5 volunteers and a camera guy. Don't tell the camera guy what he's doing. And they had
Let's go that way.
5 fucking army dudes that volunteered to stand underneath a nuclear bomb as it went off.
Probably privates.
Underneath.
No, they were like lieutenant colonels. So have you ever heard of the Genie air-to-air missile? So the
No, I don't think
Genie
so.
air-to-air missile, you got to remember 1957. There's no intercontinental ICBMs yet, right?
Not till
So the only real threat of nuclear war would be if the Soviet Union sent bombers and planes over, right? So they're like, well, how are we going to handle all these planes? Because we don't have air-to-air missiles that are accurate yet.
They're just gonna shoot a missile at
We
it.
don't have whatever. They're like, what if we shot a nuke at all their planes that had fucking nukes and just blew up all the planes first, right? I mean, it makes sense if you don't think about it. Like, you're flying a plane forward, all of a sudden America spawns the fucking sun in front of you. What are you gonna do? So that's what the Genie air-to-air missile is. It's a nuke that's just meant to take out all the Soviet planes.
No, okay, good.
And,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
In modern day, we call that an EMP.
So they blew that up at 18,000
Things are still
feet,
very
about 3
unstable.
miles above these guys' heads, and it's on video.
Wait, were they what were they under?
Nothing. It's,
Wait, this is just them
no,
in the fucking
literally
open?
it's 5 mother in the desert in their Class Bs with a fucking sign that says Ground Zero, population 5, and they're looking up like, and then there's a flash, and then they're like, we live, and then they shake hands and start lighting cigars, and they fucking dip. They didn't even tell the camera guy what he was doing that day.
Cameraman was just
George,
Why do you have a sign that says Ground Zero?
Bro, well, the funny thing is they didn't even count him because there was 5 volunteers and he was the 6th. They're like, ah, fuck that. He's a camera guy. He always lives. Fuck him. So they're
Jesus.
like, his name was Giorgio Shiitake. I think he was actually he was
Japanese.
Yeah, he lived. He lived in.
PTSD on that one.
He lived in a Japanese internment camp during World War II. I think that's where he grew up or he was born. And
So he loved trusting
they
the
didn't even
government.
tell him because he filmed a bunch of other nuclear tests, and usually it's like, hey, we're gonna go 10 miles that way and fucking record off a tripod. And then he shows up and they're like, okay, so we're gonna drop it on top of you today. Fucking excuse me?
Hey Tokyo, come here. Little Samsung capture up
How do I
there.
activate
I
now?
know they were racist as shit to that kid too.
So yeah,
No,
they
okay.
they detonated a nuke right over the top of 5 people, filmed the entire thing. It's in my video. You can also just Google it. They have footage of these 5 guys
Here
just
we
getting a
go.
nuke
We got a
detonated right over the
waypoint.
top of them.
Porto Seattle.
And then they live. That is
Yeah, they lived to. They were all. I think the earliest any of them died
Score.
was 71.
Damn. Okay.
because radiation up there.
I mean, it would
We'll
have
go
made
get
it
her
clean, but I mean,
fixed.
nuclear radiation, like they were there. They were exposed to it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so
and it
they
dissipates
dipped.
really quick.
And then
Yeah.
they'll end my
so
video.
like, they were fine, and then
That's some balls.
and then after that, they're like, I still don't trust it. So the government's like, fucking fine. We'll quit blowing up nukes on the ground and in the atmosphere and under the
Start
ocean.
in the water, yeah.
We're gonna start doing
I
it
know I'm going the wrong way, but that is
in the
okay.
ground.
Where I'm
because-
trying to go.
And then we made hydrogen bombs. Like they're fine again.
Oh, no,
Okay.
they dug,
No, maybe
they dug
not.
a 500-foot hole. And they
No, I just
blew up
realized
a
I'm
nuke
technically
on the
going
ground.
oncoming traffic, aren't I?
Because what would go
Wait,
wrong?
how the fuck do I
you
get
know,
out of
Korea
here?
does
How would I
I'm
come?
not a fucking scientist, but like if you had to pick between lighting a firecracker on your hand or making
How
a
nice.
fist around it, fucking which one would you pick?
Congratulations. Well, that's right on the Arizona
Nice.
fault line. There isn't one. Not yet.
Okay, so I gotta go back through there.
So yeah, they tested it on a 500-foot hole, and they're like, they weren't trying to blow up a nuke, but because they were
Vehicle
planning
adjustments,
on
question mark?
shooting nukes with
Oh,
bombs
I see,
to
cool.
shoot down the planes, right?
Okay, well,
They're like, well, we need to know if the safety precautions in a nuke will withstand to getting blown up, right? So like, so we're gonna take a nuke, we're gonna put it in this 500-foot hole, and we're gonna put a regular bomb down there too, and we're gonna blow up the regular bomb, and in theory, the nuclear safeties will stop the nuke from going off, and it'll just be the regular bomb. So they're
Gotcha.
like, only one way to find out.
We gotta
So
test
they
it.
fucking put the nuke down there, put the bomb down there, blew it up. Nuke went off too. He shot blue flames 800 feet into the air.
Wait, is that the manhole one?
Yeah. So then the second one, they're like, oh, we should try it again.
I was just thinking if it didn't go off.
No.
Imagine being the fucking guy who's got to go retrieve it.
They just put, it's like an IED expert. They just put Kevlar on him. He's like, like at that point, you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna be comfortable at least.
Yo, here's your safety glasses.
I made the wrong turn, Albuquerque. That is okay.
It's just like, wait.
Yeah. So
Hard
then,
hat.
so then the second one,
PT belt.
they're like, well, all right,
you can see 'em.
maybe we should try to contain it a little bit more. So they.
That's
did-
okay.
they
I'm getting
put
damaged. I
another
need to
nuke down
raise the
there.
truck
This
up
time they put
anyways.
5
So that's where we're
feet
going to now.
of concrete on top of it, like
Which
3,000 to
is right over
4,000
here.
pounds of concrete.
God
And
damn.
then
That works.
500 feet up, then they put a 2,000-pound manhole cover over the top of it and welded it shut.
2,000 pounds? Okay, this is a
2,000 pounds.
giant fight. This is
Yeah,
not
no,
like
this
a.
isn't like
this
all
is
the,
not a manhole
all
cover.
the other
This
YouTubers and memes that make you think they you put like a fucking Ninja Turtle manhole. No, it's a 2,000-pound, 4-inch thick manhole cover.
They should have put a normal one.
And then they put a high-speed camera on it because, and I quote, according to Robert Brownlee, the head scientist, it was scientifically interesting.
He's like, this is gonna be cool. He's
not wrong.
They detonated it, and the manhole cover was, so the camera, I think it was 1 frame per millisecond. So 1,000 frames a second. It captured the manhole cover in 1 frame. So we can't calculate how fast it was moving. We can only calculate the minimum speed it would have had to have been moving to only be caught in 1 frame, and that was 150,000 miles
Actually, that's
an
something
hour.
I need to adjust on this
How
quickly.
much did it
Well, I
weigh?
remember.
2,000 pounds. It would have cleared the atmosphere in a second.
Thank God we didn't have a
So,
space station.
it's
at
like,
that point.
there's a really strong argument that manhole cover is actually the first man-made object in outer space.
Well, I mean, it's still going, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. If it,
Yeah.
but once it broke atmosphere, it does not slow down after that. It just,
That is going to be like fucking like Nebulous 5 9/11.
yeah.
It's just it's gonna hit some peaceful alien planet, and they're gonna get pissed off and come.
It's
kill
gonna
us.
hit Buenos Aires.
Exactly why I need to raise the fuck up. Which that's okay.
This is what starts the war with the bugs. Okay.
Oh, by the way, my favorite theory about that in Starship Troopers is you remember the scene
Truck
where
configurator.
you know, I don't know, the chick that he was dating, the
Yeah,
Air Force
Steam
chick that wanted to be a pilot and
inventory.
all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to raise
Was
the
it-
truck
was
up,
it-
so
There's Dizzy and
It was
Yeah.
Normal.
Cameron.
I
Maybe
saw
was
the
it?
I saw the most accurate meme on the planet.
Confirmed.
And it was the 2 girls. It was his high school girlfriend and then
No,
the
it's
redhead.
her.
And
Yeah.
it was like,
I like everyone's
boys
Dizzy.
think the first girlfriend was better. Men know the second girlfriend was better. And I was like, damn, that's accurate.
Those are the first titties I ever seen, man.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But they were great.
The OG titties.
But
That
the scene
PlayStation.
where she the scene where she's like avoiding the asteroid in the very beginning, people point out that
Thank you
was
guys
the
for
meteor.
coming to join. I
And
hope you guys
because she
enjoyed.
skimmed it
There might
in
be a
space,
part 3 coming up. Or,
thousands
wait,
and
this is part
thousands
3.
of
Part
miles
4, part
away.
5. I don't know
She
yet.
was the one
Maybe some point
who
today we'll see.
redirected the fucking asteroid
Hopefully you
and
guys
started the
enjoyed.
entire
Thanks for
war
coming.
in
I'll see you
the
guys
first place
around.
because she